Okay, so critiques on Leia's piece. Brings an absolute balance. Yes, that's what I thought too. The contrast is amazing on this. Yeah, it is. Is this traditional? This was all traditional stuff, right? Um, okay, so last week we looked at your original sketch on this, and I think we kind of made some changes and stuff here. So this week, first thing we do, start with flipping the canvas. It's always kind of like the easiest thing to look for any sort of things that kind of need to be fixed. Um, you cleaned up. I think you cleaned up a lot with this piece, and it's looking much better. And I honestly, it's a fucking beautiful piece. Um, but just on a quick flip of the canvas, right? These are just minor things. That's it's so hard to line up. It's so hard to line up eyes in traditional work, But just things we can kind of practice with. Okay, so one thing I'm kind of noticing here is that, like I said, when we flip the canvas, we kind of notice like different things that might be a little bit off. This side of the head is a little bit like sort of caved in compared to that other side. So if we kind of make it like that other side, right, which is great, and then I kind of move the eye up a little bit, um, right, and then just kind of fucking around. The flipping a piece is a really big deal. I can do Borg Bear. Do you have another piece you want in? Right now we only have like five, so if you guys want to submit something else, you can. And then I'll put it at the end in case other people submit first, and then we can see what you got. Um, which is the hardest printmaking method and so awesome job. There's so much. It's really cool. This is really cool. I have Guri Scoot. No, we don't. That see we we don't need to critique that one though. That one got a couple critiques already, I think, and it's good to go. It's good to kind of go another place until just completely go another place and add a link. Okay. All right. So just off that, now we flipped the canvas a little bit. We added a little bit more room to that side of the head, right, where it was kind of short. Um, like it still might be a little. We could still probably push it out a little bit more this way when we flip it back, right? But even that, I feel like it looks a little bit more straight on with stuff. Um, yeah, this is beautiful work, Leia. Baby can steal me away at any time. So if anything, yes, no worries, no worries. If you guys got a lurk during this, it will be uploaded to YouTube later, and you guys can go watch it and check it out later. The only thing I will try to ask when I bring up your submission, usually I forget whose it is, and I kind of ask what you're looking for, what kind of tips you're looking for. But if you don't have to, if you can't be here, if you got a lurk or whatever, feel free to do that. I am not worthy. This is a beautiful fucking job. You think better job at creating depth? If you wanted to create depth, what I would have done is the areas I would go into with even more shadow, right? Would definitely be behind these faces and stuff, I think. Right? Um, this is kind of the area where like your darks could be a little bit darker and stuff. Although I think this is a scan, so things kind of do sort of wash out in scans and stuff. But as far as detail, um, even you could hatch to where it's almost more black, right? And that will pop these faces out. I'm not gonna draw over this fucking thing. um, will kind of help pop more of these faces out, especially the good ones, the important ones. Um, and then where he could, I noticed he's a little bit darker than like these faces right here too. So like we could honestly lighten him up a little bit too, and that could kind of make that pop. But in comparison, I do think it's really really good. I think it's there's so much cool shit to look at in here. Um, your big issues were definitely on the face, the center face, and now that that's kind of cleaned up, I think it's really good. Um, One thing you could definitely have doing here is you have like one overlap spot. Everything else seems to be behind, so you could have more. You might have this in the original, and I might have erased it. No. Okay, so we could have definitely like some more overlaps with maybe some leaves or something like that. We could always try. Right, so you have one right here, so maybe balance it on that side too. Um, just little things to play with. That could add depth too, right? Having things cut in front of her. I'll be watching for mine. Okay, how big is this drawing? It's on A3. That looks so much better. I'm gonna add some of that. Yeah, just put a little bit. So like one thing I kind of like to do is like, we talked about the contrapposto stuff, where like if you have something on this side and it goes down here, right? And so then we balance like a downside. So you have like a little part of a leaf here, and so I'm just thinking in terms of like zigzags, right? That's why I added a little part right here, I added a little part right here, I added a little part right here. Um, and I kind of think in terms of those zigzags on them, right? So boom, 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 that type of stuff, right? Um, as places we can add different details. It's just a really simple hack to do stuff, right? And I would keep the shapes kind of small. I would not make giant overlaps on her face, um, or anything like that. Like don't take away from her face. Just kind of cut those borders, like just like you did here, right? You just cut those borders a little bit. Um, like I said, darkening up between these faces will make these pop out a little bit more. Clearing this face off completely, um, and yeah, just darkening those things up in there. I would lighten up his face a little bit to kind of match. See, these guys over here are so much lighter, actually, I feel like, than these guys. Um, so maybe it's just the way that it's. No, it actually is lighter over here, just in general. Maybe you wanted it to be like that, though. Even though you have a light source that's here, technically. But it does feel definitely darker over here. Bad lighting, I'll admit. I struggled getting good natural light when. Oh, you were taking the picture. Okay, that's why. That's why it is. It's not a scan. It's pretty fucking good for taking a picture and not scanning it in. Um, so depending on how it looks in real life, then. Also, I will say he does pop out a little bit more. I would put like I think this is a strand of hair. I would put the strand of hair going behind this face because this face is kind of these faces are kind of hurting a little bit from being covered up. This one's not so bad. This one's a lot more covered up on this side. Like she gives a lot of room to both these faces. If he's covered up, he's balanced here. Like he's covered up by flowers and stuff. He's covered by flowers and stuff. So, um, Photoshop saved your butt. It actually this is like a really good. I mean, like honestly, in all honesty, this is fucking beautiful. It really really does. I made a vow to better myself every day. There you go, dude. You know what? And sometimes that's all it takes is think about little by little every day. It's not like a huge leap. It's like little by little, right? One little thing at a time. What new habit can you do now? The 20 years set your life up in a really good place, right? Yeah, but it's really good. I'm looking at the kind of the face. Maybe this eyebrow is a little bit big crossing over here. I think it would kind of be. I think if we kind of went up that ridge, it would kind of be over a little bit. Um, there, she has a little bit more eyelash on this side. Do you notice than this side? It kind of starts her eyelash kind of gets a little bit more wild than it does here, and I like this. I actually like this. These are small little nitpicky things, so I'm just kind of going over little nitpicky things that I look at after a while. It's a good piece. It's just so cool to look at all the details on this. But like I said, these are nitpicky things. Don't get down about this. This is stuff that I'm having to like stare at for a long time. Um, and just as a whole, like if you were at a show, if you had an art show and you had this on your table like really big, if you took that out, and you had this on a table really really big at like an art piece, oh dude, I think this would be a cool banner or something that just catches people's eye when they walk by, and they could just stare at it. I love the scoop. No, Biggie, we don't need that. I'm trying to get her to take it out because I think it unbalances the picture a lot. I think it just throws everything up. He just stares right into my fucking soul. Um, I like the different little difference. Not everyone is asymmetrical. That's a good point. That's actually a good point, Kim. Even if you flip your camera phone, you're not asymmetrical, right? That's a good point. Um, Even like my eyelashes, like I do have like eyelashes missing on one eye. Um, so like that's kind of a human error, right? Doesn't need to, that's a really really good point. Shave your beard, then it won't. Noted. Um, yeah, but more than anything, I think it's just kind of getting it in the ballpark too. So flipping your canvas, looking at things in a mirror, taking pictures of things, lightening different sides up, which might be just your camera. Mm, yeah. Do you guys see anything else Leia could think of? And my ears are different heights. Are they really? Um, I kind of have. I think my left eye. It's not lazy, but my eyelid on top is lazy sometimes. So like it doesn't go all the way up. So like sometimes one eye is like wide awake, and the other eyelid just gets stuck there. And like it slowly moves back into place, but like it looks like like half my face is asleep. But that's also the eye that I have like missing eyelashes and shit. Garage door like that. Thanks. I look at where our earlobes and they're off at different heights. Rip. um, okay, so this is Leia's piece. Like I said, awesome, awesome piece. I hope to God you're selling prints of this or something because it's really, really cool. And I think this would be great as like a table piece at an art show or something like that. All the detail to catch people's eyes and make them stop. Eye difference make. I can't wait to get my Neo art. Did you get some from Kim? Confidence boost here. You should have confidence. This is awesome piece. This is really, really good work. Damn good work. You guys are all really good, and you guys get better every week. Honestly, we do these. Okay. Next up is the garage door man himself. And yes, I understand I can never live stream again. This joint is so good we're all staring at Scoops saying make it ooh. No, no. We get better because the advice you give is so fire. No, you guys put in the work. Um, you don't get anywhere unless you put in the work. Like every time I give you a page, Biggie, you rework it. Only the idea of the drawing. Can I do more for critique's sake, or do you want me to just critique the idea of it, or are you saying this is only your idea so far? What'd you get from her, Delightful? Um, See, Kim, you do really well on your store. honestly learn some. I love critiques. I know I've talked about Istrebek on YouTube. I love her critique sessions because she's so good with it. And I learned so much. Um, a great teacher. Shit, I don't know about that, but thank you guys. Oh, you got the mod. You can do whatever you want. We think you can make it work. Okay. For those who may not know, Scoob also has a store. Socials. It is social, but my store is on store, and I'm gonna delete my store envy. Look at you, Biggie. Look at you, Biggie, stepping up in mod. Stepping up in mod for me. Guy in the back is wrong. I can't draw females as well as you. I actually don't think I can draw females for shit. Yeah, the balloon placement, the girl on it. Um, so the main thing I think we want to show, right, is the girl and the car with these guys in the background. Whoops. Word balloons. Kim. I think he means word balloons. Kim. Kim. I think word balloons. I always forget to mention myself. Well, I don't know. I probably do. I always do. Yeah, but I do like promoting you guys too. Easy. 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 Okay. So let's grab a. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do like a Biggie Boo thing. Like when I create Biggies, we're gonna go kind of side by side with this here. You just assume. What did I assume? I didn't assume anything. I was just making sure you knew. You knew it was word balloons. The word balloon placement. um. Okay, so with this, yeah, we can definitely have. I kind of box it out. Although I would kind of get like a square thing going here. Is there a reason like for her skirt to be? Do you want her skirt up that high with everything showing like that? Mansplaining. Don't you start on me, Biggie. That's the point. Okay, okay. I'm kind of seeing this like one of those old like sort of like vintage Playboy sort of cartoons, right? Um, Please carry on your good work, Mister Sir. Thank you, Mrs. Ma'am. Thank you, Mrs. Ma'am. Appreciate that. I tell a lot. Thank you. Getting out of the car like paparazzi. Are they kind of just chilling back here, like two buddies type of thing? Is this a Britney thing? They're talking about the car. Okay, so they need to be looking at the car, right? And we're looking. So we're kind of looking at her, and they're looking at the car. Basically, is what you're saying. What if you stitch the crowd and the people? Oh, switch the crowd and the people. I was kind of thinking that you could have the guys up front, like an old school cartoon, you know, where you kind of see half their face, right? And then she's over here. But either way, I think actually works. So it's supposed to look like she's kind of squeezing out. Because a lot of the old school, a lot of the old school, like sort of like the Playboy cartoons and whatever. That sort of gag one strip style always had like the guys like, or I always had like people way up front and they were kind of like turned to the side, talking to each other. So that's one way. But like in this case, we can keep it the same. Let's keep let's keep it R. Let's keep it R. um, so just on squeezing out here, right? If she's really really squeezing out, never had Playboy. There were words in it. Yeah, yeah, there were. Oddly enough, I always liked the. Whenever I'd sneak the magazines, I'd always read the comic strips. Go figure. So if we kind of want to show her squeezing out, usually everything is kind of behind, like tucked back. I hear strange noises. Oh, that's the that's mowing out here out back. So let me see how we could do this. Depends what expression we want on her face. If she's kind of annoyed squeezing out, then I definitely have her like putting her hand up on the door handle there to kind of like pull herself out. Like I said, arms kind of go backwards and stuff. Everything's kind of pushed back into the car. So am I, but you get the idea. Okay. I tried. Is this a critique one? I should over exaggerate her trying to get out. Then yes, yes. It sounds like a hell kind of. Is it really that loud out there? Okay. I'll put that one in the pile. All right. So really, if she's squeezing out, and that's the goal. Um, yeah, I think he stopped. It's kind of hot. A lot of this is going to come down to like sort of like facial features. Um, like maybe she's looking down, right? So down shot, we kind of see like cleavage more. Balloons. uh, yeah. So then we kind of see the balloons. Word balloon placement. Right. So the dress is going to kind of make like a shelf where it's kind of stretched across those legs. Should a stagger or bridge them? The balloons? Which balloons? Which balloons do you want to stagger right now? So we'll get a little bit of shadow on that part, right? Like I said, the door kind of come up here because that arm's going to be thrown back into space, and then she's going to be kind of grabbing it, right, to push herself out. Same with this arm back here. I mean, depending on the, it looks like she's kind of on the side of it, right? Word balloons. I admit, I knew the word balloons. I knew exactly what you meant. Oh, I knew exactly what you meant. Yeah, we will tell. We would try to stagger those. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What did you think he meant, though, Kim? That's the real question. I'll screen cap it. Okay. I know this is a little bit longer one, but it's a kind of a bigger drawing lesson for you guys too. I'm not talking right now as much because I'm trying to think about how things go. Um, but like that door is gonna probably cut off the side there. Definitely word balloons. 100% word balloons. Helicopter's back. Squinty eyes. You focus. You really are hopped up on the Mountain Dew today, aren't you? Uh, it's in focus mode. Kind of feel like I made her maybe too giant, but maybe that's the point too. All right, keeping it simple. Keep it simple on these legs. Position is perfect. Okay, but do you see? I mean, do you kind of see what I'm talking about with like pushing it back to make it look like she's got her arms thrown back and everything. Of course, you get a little underbutt there, right? Okay, that door frame kind of cuts off part of her body, so it cuts off like the upper part. Throw some shadow where she's at. That way, it's going to also pop that part of the car out as well. Inner thigh would probably be showing here, right? So this is the inner thigh we can show on that part of that leg. Hey Lee, what's up, buddy? It's going good, man. How you doing, dude? We're doing little critiques today, man. You everything you want critiqued at all? Just drop it in chat. No points, nothing today. Just whatever everybody has. That's more action than I drew in it. There you go, Vaughn. That's what I like to. That's what I like to hear. Say that in her butt. Yeah. So this is like a good piece to like kind of keep in mind is that whenever we draw like legs that kind of go back to the thigh, right? There's always a little bit of underbutt there too. Now these legs aren't very good, but like I don't want to spend 3 hours on it either. Because we have a lot to get to on it, which is good. But it'll give you the general idea of things. I'm guessing she's got heels on, maybe. Heels on a dress. Crits are there? There's like 5, I think, right now. Question from forever ago. I'm going to order the Canson paper you mentioned. I don't need anything fancy right now. Yeah. Do you like rough paper or do you like more smooth stuff? The Canson Fanboy I found. So this one I have is Canson Fanboy. I don't think it says smooth or something. It says item 3917. Smooth. Oh, you like the smooth stuff? I like a little bit of texture on mine, but a little bit of texture and get like a 4H pencil and stuff. I can drop mine. Okay, okay. I mean, you can drop it. You can drop it now, Ben, if you want, man. Unless you're still working on stuff. Okay, perfect. Texture when I draw all up Bristol Franks. Yeah. The smooth stuff to me is really tough. To to get the lines that I want, but at the same time, it it also doesn't smear as much, which is like a big deal for me. I know finished. Okay, okay, you got time, man. All right, so then what I would do is I'd actually move these guys back a little bit. That or I would increase their body size more. Okay, so basic idea for her is that. So then we have to figure out how we want the different word balloons to play in, right? So we have the big ones. So maybe the second guy talks, right? Or the second guy's a bigger word bubble. Maybe have that drawn up there. Actually, what I would do in our drawings at least, we don't smearing in our drawings at least. Yeah, but get like a 4H pencil and get like a non-photo blue pencil. Like order some non-photo blue pencils too. You won't really be able to see non-photo blue that well, but what it will do is when non-photo blue does smear, it doesn't mess up the whole page, right? It just kind of leaves like a little blue tint to it. That's not really heavy or nothing. For anything but ink, I'd probably prefer some texture as well. Yeah, I don't. I'm trying to think of the smooth paper. I will say, because I was a lefty so much, working on traditional comics, was really really good to have. Not. So what I'm thinking is maybe we can move these guys even in the middle. Let's see how that looks. Maybe I do kind of want them bunched up together. Okay, so just kind of as a way to kind of keep it in balance. Guy 1, guy 2. And yes, I would definitely bridge them. We can kind of make a little bridge right here, right? And then this is. And you can make the tails. So what we can do with the tails is tails come off the last panel, right? So this will be the first bubble of his. First bubble of the second guy. And the second bubble kind of goes in between there, usually. And then the last bubble goes after that, right? So then we connect with that. And then the tail comes off that last panel, or that last bubble on each of them. And I'll even put a little bit of overlap on what comes after that, right? So like his first line, and then an overlap, just like a panel, right? Little overlap, right? So we know this is past. This is the newest one. Maybe this one cuts a little bit over the little bridging line that they have right here. That way you're reading it like this. And then this one overlaps that a little bit. Bubble theory, yeah. But it's a tricky thing because you have a lot going on, but like I'm keeping them kind of close together. So people don't jump all over the page, right? So I got Sims were kind of small. It has the other features I like. Last bubble focus, bubble bobble, bubble ball, whatever. Yeah. So I kind of would kind of keep them like that. The only thing is maybe I would have these guys a little bit more down here. Just to kind of balance the page out a little bit. Like Like I said, I kind of think one of them maybe with the arms crossed, one of them maybe with the hands at the side, sort of thing. That's gonna get you more than halfway. Okay, perfect, perfect, perfect. Yeah, the rest of it's just gonna be down to like drawing people into place, right? Um, this is gonna be your toughest part, probably. Showing like all that motion, um, trying to come out of there. But like I said, think about as weird as this is. Think about like that pose, struggling to get up off the pooper, or something like that, right? Just like pushing yourself up, right? Kind of getting out of that car. But then I think something like that with the bubbles would help. I would love it to be half the conversation on this side balanced and half the conversation on this side balanced. If you could find a way to make that work, it might work better. Um, but I think just mainly as far as like the connecting things, right? Is we keep it to where we have one and then two kind of overlapped it, and then making sure that this panel this panel somehow cuts off these two, so our eye doesn't go from here to here. It goes here to here, right? You had to go toilet humor. Only way to only way is to slip the panels. Yeah. But I think that will kind of set you up. Okay. Do you want to screen cap this? You said get a full screen. Let's screen cap it. You did. All right. Cool. 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 All right, Vaughn. I love you putting in work, man. It's cool to see you adding like your car drawings with people now. A Shrek movie? It'd be a lot better if it was a Shrek movie. I think you guys would be more entertained. All right, so next one up. This is really cutesy. I see some blushes here. People can be really tough. People can be really tough. Whose was this? People can be tough, especially when you're used to drawing cars. Oh hi, Corianne. Oh hi there, Corianne. Is this your piece? It is. It looks like it says Corianne. Is this Corianne's piece? Does anybody know? Does anybody know if this is Corianne's piece? This is Corianne's. I can't tell if this is Corianne's or not. I'm not really sure if this is Corianne's. This makes you want to retract mine? Why? Well, well, nope, not me, not you. Damn it. All right. I thought it might have been yours for a second. I don't know why. Okay, so duplicate layer. What type of things are you struggling with on this? What types of things do you want to learn? Fill me in on stuff. Let me know where we're going with it. What are you looking for? What are you having trouble with? It's a really cutesy piece. Little hard to tell. I'm not sure, but I'm assuming it's Corianne, so we're gonna go with it. This is digital. This looks really cool for digital. This honestly, it looks like you're using a watercolor on a textured paper. Like the background looks really like textured and stuff. I love how traditional, even like your blends and stuff. This is all digital? Because this looks fucking Copic marker esque, which is cool if you got this effect digital. I thought it was traditional too, right? Like even the way these are blended out. This looks like how you blend Copics. Digital painting. Well, I think you did a good job with it. Then I think you did a really, really good job with it. Okay, so you're probably not going to like this. But I still am a strong supporter that when we make our blushes and stuff. Ugh, I'm gonna have to try a paintbrush here. Let's see if this works better. Okay, just kind of paint this out, right? I thought it was digital. I thought it was digital, and I'm more of a traditional artist. Yeah, really? Yeah, I totally thought this was traditional. Oh, quill brush. Okay, maybe it's hard to tell when you work digital. Maybe that's true. Like I can tell with the glowy things too. The glow looks definitely looks digital. Like I can tell that glow dodge right there. So I know you're gonna hate that, because I know you have a way that you like to do blush and stuff. Um, Whoops. But my feeling on this is that instead of making sort of like harder big bubbles and stuff, and you can do whatever you want ultimately. All these critiques are like these are for you guys, right? Um, I just make sort of fuzzy shapes, and I don't know if I would have it going over her mask. I think I did. Doing lately, I don't know why. It's okay that you're doing it. What I would do? I mean, that's not the good color for blush necessarily. Um, I would maybe go more pink and stuff with it. But the thing that I usually do with stuff is you can kind of make these sort of these like hatch lines and stuff, right? You know, obviously adjust the color. Whatever color you want on there, you know. Let's say we go with pink or whatever, and then I kind of do these little hatch lines and stuff that kind of go with the sort of the curve of the face and stuff. Um, but it's fuzzy that way, and it's not like a solid thing that's on their skin, right? Um, hey, Lysium, what's up? What's up, Raiders? What's up, Shadow? Elzium, Elzium. Elysians or Elysian? I'm so old I can't read shit. What's going on, everybody? How you guys doing? What's up, Marty, Phoenix, Japiano? Wish Wizard, what's up, everybody? How you guys doing? What's up? Thank you so much for the raid. L see him. L see him. Okay, L see him. L see him. Um, or is it eel see him? Like now am I saying it like an animal? Uh, Nearly last time when I was in here, but found several new ways to pronounce it this time. Did I really? I'm not really good at this at all, at all, at all. Whoops. Hold on. I gotta turn off my alerts because I forgot this is going on YouTube. Thank you guys for the follows, though. Let me turn off all my copyrighted WWE alerts really quick. Um, I cannot get if I get it right the first time, it's usually on a fluke, and I can't do it again. Hey, Tybot, what's going on? How was your stream? See, I can't. Japino, I can't say it again. See, I probably can't do it again. Never believe Shadow. Okay. L C Ham. I'm much better at saying L C Ham. How was your stream though? Welcome, Raiders. How you guys doing? Thank you, Ben. I appreciate that. Get good. I'm trying, man. Um, if you guys are new here, my name is Scuba. I go by Scuba's Art. You can check out all my social media right there in the links that Ben's dropping. I have a Webtoons. I have a store. I have Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, all that good stuff. You guys can check it out. Um, Thank you guys for being here. Elysium. I think there's a place in Texas called Elysium, right? Um, but how was your stream? How are you guys doing today? Today, today we are Elysium. All right, Elysium. How much you guys want to bet next time you come in here that I fuck it up again? Um, like I said, welcome to the stream. Those of you guys who are new here, Tuesdays we do critique sessions, so we're in the middle of a critique session. This is artwork of Corey Ann right now. We're going over, we're giving a little critique on it. But how was your stream? Show me what you worked on. Feel free to drop something in chat that I can show off for you. Welcome to stream, everybody. I hope you guys are doing great. I feel like he's trying. I do a tongue twister with just like the most basic. I don't know why I'm so bad at like pronouncing words and names and stuff. But thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. Um, like I said, this is a critique session right now that we're doing. So this is a little critique we did beforehand. Those of you guys who are new here, this is the type of work that I do. This is more character design type stuff. We'll work on this a little bit later. Also, I have a commission piece that I'm working on for a few people at the moment. This is a piece for Aegis in chat. It is a Twitter icon right now, and then a D&D piece that we're inking up and hopefully getting to. We're gonna fix this face too, but we're gonna get to inking on that and finishing that up as well later on. So thank you all for being here. I appreciate you guys hanging out. One of your screenshots, Mr. Elysium played a lot of Ghost. Oh, Ghost. Ooh. If you have a Ghost, if you legit have a Ghost of Tsushima screenshot, I would love to see. I've been watching that game. It's freaking beautiful. I've been watching. Do you guys know? I don't know if anybody that's WWE fans here knows who Rusev is from WWE. Miro on Twitch. I've been watching him play, and some Sasha Grey maybe too. I maybe have been watching Sasha Grey play a little bit as well. But it's a fucking beautiful game. It is a beautiful game. Gotta hit the bed, yo, Leia. Have a great night. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Go get some sleep, okay? I'll probably see you again tonight at some point. But go get some sleep. Thank you for submitting your stuff too. Yeah, I would love to see any screenshots you want to show off. Anything that you want to share. Anytime people rate us, it really means a lot to the channel, and I like to give that love back any way I can. If you guys just play video games, if you guys do artwork, whatever it is, feel free to show that off in the chat, and we can share with all the people in my stream as well. D&D time, okay, Masters, yeah, do it up, man. Have fun, dude. Have a good game. Bless all your rolls, all those D20s. You're amazing. You don't need a confidence boost from me. You are truly amazing. Japian, no, have a great night. Have a great night. Those are awesome emotes too, by the way. Those are great. So yeah, we're in the middle of a critique session right now. This is Corey Ann's work. We're going over it. These will be uploaded to YouTube later. If anybody is an artist that comes over here and you guys have work that you want critiqued, drop a JPEG in a chat and we'll get to those. So every Tuesday, this is what we do. Normal days, we just draw. We listen to music. A lot of Tool. A lot of Tool. If you guys like Tool, we listen to a lot of that. Or just chill here and work and all that good stuff. Hey, thank you, Tybot. I'm having a lot of fun doing D&D art right now. I just got a commission from Faithforge Academy, which is a D&D podcast, kind of like Critical Role, and yeah, it's been a blast. That's a big link. That's all right. Discord links usually are. What do you think of the game so far? Man, this game is so beautiful. So guys, go follow Elysium. If you're not already, this game is gorgeous. Give me a rundown on what you think so far. What's your rating on it? Have you beat the game? Are you still going through it? Are you ways off? I've heard it's open world, right? Hard to choose from? Yeah, that's fine. That's a beautiful game. I'm sure people can come hang out with you and watch it too. What do you guys think that's watching Elysium? Love the game, looks amazing, story is cool, cutscenes are very captivating, and the combat is actually super smooth. Very brutal, and the skills can become detailed, which I like. Yeah, I watched a quick like overview of it on YouTube. Somebody was doing a quick overview, and I wasn't super impressed on it. And I had a lot of hopes for it early on, but I just wasn't super impressed with what I saw. And then as I watched people actually play it, like over the long term, then I was like, okay, this game is beautiful and it's got some depth to it, and it looks gorgeous, and like the combat, like I said, was very smooth looking, which I think is really important in games too. I can't really stand clunky games. At least I couldn't back when I had more time to play. Um, Man, they would break me down. If a game is really hard to play, I just couldn't do it. But yeah, thank you guys a ton for being here. I appreciate it. Like I said, if you have anything you want to promote, anything going on over there on your channel, do so now. This is your time before I jump back onto critiques and stuff here. Like I said, I love these critique days, but like I want to show some love over to the Raiders really quick first. So yeah, let me know what else you got going on at all, or if you're just gonna chill the rest of the night too, because I'm totally down for that. Customize your appearance. Side quests are everywhere, and little collectibles make things more rewarding. The combat is smooth because it doesn't change your focus point. It's the same as wandering around. Yeah, the combat also, like, I noticed there was one scene I saw. This dude was like charging at him, but like he wasn't just running like an NPC. He was running like he was mad running. You know what I mean? And he was clunky, so like he was kind of bobbing back and forth and stuff, but like running like, and he was pissed off, and then kind of like slowly raised his sword up to attack. And I just like the whole animation sequence was just gorgeous. It wasn't like I don't know. It wasn't like just an attack animation. It was like a whole process of getting there, like um, through like different emotions and different weights of the stuff he was wearing and all that stuff. It was great. Awkward to deal with sometimes. Are they? Yeah. It was beautiful though. Also, I did notice that like every single level has a lot of wind. They really went ham on like all the wind effects, didn't they? Because I kind of noticed that. I was like, you guys really laid into like this whole like trail of wind that blows through every level, didn't you? Um, but it looks good though. It looks good. Okay, so let's jump back to Corian's critique. We fixed the blush first. This is Corian's in our chat. She submitted a piece of artwork. This is actually done completely digitally. It looks traditional. I don't know how she did it. It looks like Copics or something, but it looks fucking amazing. Oh, the wind is a gameplay tool. Really? Okay, that makes sense. I thought it was just a graphical, like, sort of style thing that looked pretty, but that makes sense now. Okay, okay. That's cool. That's cool. Um, okay, so, Corian, you were talking about your line work and stuff. The one thing I would say, too, is maybe back here, like, this neck kind of comes in a little bit, but I think it could kind of go down. Usually that neck comes off there, and it's going to be shorter up here, right? Especially if the character is more petite. Thank you. Hey, it looks really good. And you can also do the change the weather in the photo mode, so you can add remove. Oh, really? Too much about the game, honestly, in a good way. Yeah, yeah. That's cool. That's cool. You can change it off. Can you change different weather things in photo mode, or just the wind? I did a flipping horizontal thing to make sure the face was right. Yes, that's a really good thing to do. Cause like you notice when we flipped, you see the eyes kind of. Do you see how different the eyes are when we flip? Also, even what I did, with the blush, it's at like two different levels, you know? Um, so that's like another thing we can look at too. But the neck usually attaches to the back of the head, and it's going to be usually a little bit thinner up front, right? Usually under that jawline there. So, okay, with the eyes, right? Line work is multiplied, so that changes colors at places, so I should take the time to color line work. Yeah, it doesn't really look that bad to me because it looks like it's kind of took a purple tone to it, right? Unless you want it to stay black. Entirely, including character expressions, time of day, cinematic bar, loads, really. So you can change all that type of shit. That's crazy. I heard that the armor and weapon customization was pretty deep on it, and like the skill tree stuff too. I use a purple gray for line work. Purple line work. If I use purple on my chibi stuff, and it works really really well. I actually don't think your line work, the color of your line work, is that bad at all. Um, if anything, I think right here I'm just going to I kind of want to move this over a little bit, but also make this eye a little bit taller because it's way tall over here. In comparison, right? But I also kind of want to move it. You see how we're just evening it up a little bit. And this pupil should probably kind of move. Since this is looking this way, like this pupil should probably honestly kind of be over here more. But then again, the whole eye should kind of be over here more. Really, I should just move the eye. But it's okay. I'm going to make this a little bit smaller just to kind of match it. Yeah, see, I should have just moved the eye because now I want to. I'm slowly kind of pushing things and to the left a little bit, right? To kind of match that centered up feel on it. You can add a Kurosawa filter to the entire game. Oh, no shit, can you really? Really? Oh, that would be badass, yeah. So how many hours did you say you are into it? I kept changing the eyes. Yeah, you're just a little bit like, I'm just kind of wanting to move them over a little bit. I should have just free transformed and moved it a little tiny bit. But it's just kind of so they're looking in the same direction. And now I'm noticing like you have a lot of space here as well. But that's that flipping the canvas thing. The advantage you have with digital too, right? It's not that it didn't look bad at all the other way. It's just mostly when you flipped it. I don't think I've done it justice right now, to be honest. But mostly when you flipped it, it was kind of a little off, you know. Honestly, so we could just bring it up even if we free transformed it. But you can see there the difference in it, right? But that's the good advantage of digital, learning that stuff. Okay, what else did you kind of have questions about? I'm kind of wondering if we could also. Go back in. Just a little bit of darkness under these. Kind of. We'll see how this looks when we set it to like a little bit of a multiply. I'm just gonna test it. I don't know if this is gonna work out like quite like I want it to, but I'm just kind of giving a little bit of contrast and stuff to some of these edges. See, just a little bit darker. You darken the clouds. I'll be watching. Baby's getting fussy. Okay, okay. Pretty happy with that. Yeah, yeah. Just kind of maybe think about different things, right? So this kind of to me gives a little bit more edge to it. Pop up. Okay, Fletch, do it up, buddy. Do it up, man. I've had 4 different days on it. A minimum of 3 hours of playthrough. I think one day was 7 hours, so I played a little. Haven't actually done much in terms of main quests in Act 1. I cleared a good amount of the map, though. The map in general is huge, plus there are areas I can't advance yet. Maybe part of the future acts, I don't know. Oh, did they have it, like, blocked off, I guess, then? Um, so you think maybe it's like DLC coming out? Yeah, I heard it was pretty open world, but they didn't want it to be, like... I heard that they didn't want it to be necessarily like Red Dead Redemption, but they wanted it to be pretty open world, too. Also, now that I'm thinking about it on this... Because we do have the sun coming from the other side. So you guys always know what we like to do. Just something we could try there. Little glow dodge type of thing. Set it kind of low. Very open. The way to progress we can't get past makes a lot of sense as this bottlenecked area with a huge castle you're meant to storm as part of the main story. Then you advance through... Oh, yeah. I was going to say, they don't just, like, block it off with, like, a fucking fence that you can't, like, jump over, you know? They actually make it, like, a thing that you can't get past from enemies and shit like that. So it seems like there's a fucking lot of gameplay to this. There's a lot of depth to it. That was what I was kind of wondering, if it had, like, a lot of replay about it. I was pleased with the way it's done. Yeah, a lot of games can try to kind of get away with that too. They put like a really gimmicky thing in there that you're like, okay, I know you just don't want me to get past this part, but you could make it a little bit more clever. Okay, so that was Corians or Invisible Walls. I know, or Invisible Walls, yeah. And you're just stuck running against him the whole time. Um, or well, Halo's probably a bad example, but like for some reason that makes me think of like Blood Gulch when you could jump to the top of it and you could see like over and there was nothing over there. Ghost doesn't have that. It seems like so far it seems like everybody's kind of really damn happy with Ghost then. Um, like it seems like it's worth the hype and it's worth the wait. Now I guess what's the next big one? Cyberpunk? Everybody's waiting on? Okay, so now we got our next one coming up here. Alright, this was... Fletch, was this you? Whose was this? Jake is super excited about... Is he really? Yeah. Oh, this is yours, Giving. Okay. What are your thoughts and feelings on stuff? Destiny's got DLC coming out, yeah. Have they been pretty? I know a couple people who do like the raids and stuff like that, but I'm not super huge in knowing what's going on with Destiny. Have they released anything since two came out? I think they released. I think I do remember one DLC coming out, but do they release DLC on a regular basis? They still got a pretty good community going. Okay, so this is Givian's piece, and we did slap some clothes on there, so it's not totally how this looks. But we'll kind of take a look at some stuff. Next Breath of the Wild game, yeah, it looks so beautiful. I saw a little bit of it. It looks so damn beautiful. Um, okay, so what can we do with this on yours? Those rainbows look edible, like candy a little bit. Is she on? Is she on? I guess the rainbow here. So I guess that's maybe one of the first things is if she's on this thing. They probably taste like taffy. I'm guessing taffy. They're vaulting some older content to make room for new stuff. It's a pretty large player base still and a big following here on Twitch. Yeah, it honestly I know like the Destiny community. I know like a lot of people that do like podcasts and stuff like that still. Um, and like it still seems like it's a pretty big deal. I thought it was gonna kind of die off because when Destiny, I think when Destiny 2 first came out, there were a lot of people kind of salty about it, right? You were thinking peeps when coloring it. um, okay, so one thing, and speaking of color on this, one thing that I would kind of do too is instead of your black lines, because this is so like colorful, right? So maybe like try grabbing like a let's see if we zoom in. This might not be black, but it's still pretty dark. But maybe we could try like a sort of like a darker color, a purple, or just any color in general, right? To just something to add some color to it. You have such a colorful piece that having black on there without a color, I think maybe that sort of a dark purple, dark red might help. Um, Different than more marshmallow rainbow road. Yeah, so anything with like color on it can help, especially as colorful as this piece it really is. The other thing I was going to do is maybe move her away from that little bit of that rainbow there and kind of move her, make it to where like it's for sure that she's kind of like sitting on it or sitting in it, right? Right. So it just looks like she's there and not on the edge of that. So it's kind of like little tangent stuff we move away from. I like the dot shading on the character itself. By the way, I have no idea what I'm talking about. Just pointing out what I like. Oh yeah, it is stippling. Like yeah, it's a really cool way to shade stuff. But instead of like shading it over, people just make dot 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 dot. It's a fucking intensive process. That's what the fuck it is. I don't know if you've ever watched anybody stipple, but I know Vicious Fool that used to stream. He used to do it, and like damn, he would spend all night on pieces. Um, Also, if you want to make this sort of like a frame around the picture, I would do a little bit more, make it a little bit more even and stable. If you want it to be kind of like flowy, then we can still do that with a design thing too, right? We can definitely have edges that feel more designy and shit like that, right? So we can like come out and make it like intentionally like flow around here. But also kind of keep the width of certain areas the same, so it doesn't look like super thin in one area, super thick in another area, right? Just different things we can do with it, just to kind of even it up, right? So BRB, okay, no problem, no problem. Thank you for being here and bringing everybody with the host. I appreciate that too, by the way. Right, so just kind of whatever way you want it to flow, but make it look either intentionally like flowy like that, or like more even all the way around. Just instead of sticking in the middle ground where it just kind of looks like you didn't want to get a ruler out type of thing, um, which can see how it's kind of gets so thin up here, and then like this side is kind of coming through here, and this side's a little bit bigger up here. This is kind of where we go with stuff, just making it look like a design or something. And now as far as these stars here, one thing I like to do with stars is you can put them in like little clusters and stuff too. You have a lot of things going right here, right? But you can put these little clusters and stuff too. And usually the further away I get from like a light source, the more you're gonna see, right? So we can have like little smaller ones around these big stars, and we can really like decorate it out. So we could have a lot more up here if we wanted to. Struggling with making it random, yeah. The one thing I think with random stuff is that we just can kind of cluster stuff together too, shapes and things like that, right? No, you're making sense. Yeah, you're making sense. Usually it'll kind of move from like more of a cluster, and then like as we would get closer to like the moon here or something like that, we would lose more of these as well, right? Or even like horizon lines. Usually we have more stars up top, and then less as we kind of go down the list. But I think mainly your thing on this would be like your size, having more of these smaller shapes and stuff. Right, so now, even out here, I would put like little ones, maybe some little ones around here, but not a lot. Hey, Polly, what's up? Random in a painting is never random. It's all about appealing abstract shapes. Yeah, yeah. It's making it look random, but also directing the eye as much as you can. Polly, how you doing, homie? We're doing critique session today, by the way, if you got anything you want to submit. So you see how that's kind of turning into a little bit more of like a night sky now, that you see like that many more stars away from it. Um, and then we could kind of even balance a little bit more here, right? I'm kind of keeping him away from the moon. That way the moon feels a little bit heavier. as well. I'm a bit scared, not gonna lie. Well, I think it's only because you submitted, right around dinner time, and I was probably cranky. I was probably hangry, Um, Also, I might make one of these just to kind of experiment. I think you can kind of push some of your composition around a little bit too, right? That's not a penis, I promise. So we can have stuff that kind of hangs out. Right, more like a mountain or something like that. Just sort of some interesting balance stuff right here. Like she's kind of got this. Unless there's an intention of why you want only two of these. Light viney floor. Oh yeah, okay. But I wanted to maintain the desolate landscape. Yeah, I could see that too. I mean, right now it still feels desolate and feels spacey too. It kind of depends what you want with it. Like for me, this gives a focal point. Having this here gets a focal point that I don't think you had. I think you kind of had a little bit. Like I don't know. It feels kind of empty. Which I guess I mean space is supposed to feel empty, but it doesn't feel like a planet. In the sense that like I think just adding some stuff that can kind of make it look a little bit more epic, or like there's some adventure in that background somewhere there in that background. There's something bigger, ominous, waiting. Um, to draw the eye. That type of stuff. Plus, it kind of helps balance that moon that's up in the sky there as well. But yeah, those are kind of my thinking. Is like remember more stars as you get further away from the horizon, further away from light sources, you see more stars. They're kind of clustered together like dust. Think of like dust with big stars and like little specks of dust around them. That's kind of how I always think of them looking. Uh, and then maybe like messing around with your landscape to kind of create a hierarchy, right? So this goes tall, this goes down to here, and then down to here, right? So um, you kind of have different visual elements rather than things being really close together on the same eye line. Like you're at least covering that space, and then your border too, like making it intentional what you want to show. Um, but yeah, any questions at all on it? Did it help with anything on there? You want to ask anything at all? Um, I think the girl looks pretty fine. I would maybe, I don't know if you're gonna give her hair color or not, but maybe you could try putting a color on her too, like a purple or something to stand out. I don't know. Yes, everything's so multicolored. All makes sense? Okay, cool, cool, cool. All right, so we'll jump on to the next one then. I think this one was. I don't remember who did this one. Zombabe? Did I lose it? There we go. So quick adjustment really quick here. Just in case. Okay, so this is our Zombabe. Was this... I don't remember whose this was, but if you're in chat, holler at me. I don't think this was Masters. Masters submitted something else. Okay, but we can go over some stuff really quick on this anyways. What's up, Sacred? Are you tired over there, man? How you feeling, buddy? Okay, so the quick things on this is just going to be basic anatomy stuff, right? So we're gonna look at like head proportions, see where everything kind of stacks up. With the rest of the body, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I think head-wise we're kind of look decent on this. What I think more than anything is like the rest of the body proportions, right? So, right. So we do have like the torso kind of ending up probably where it should be. I would say kind of with the rest of the stuff with the body, the arms look probably like a little bit too big compared to the rest of the body. There's just a few things that are off a little bit, right? Um, right, and that's we solved that by drawing through with the rib cage and skeleton and stuff. Tired as fuck, was way too late and had to be up early. How late were you up, man? So we can solve this. Like I said, we keep our line of action when we're drawing limbs and stuff. You know, keep that flow in there. Three a.m. up at 7, dude. What were you doing up at 3 a.m.? Were you playing games? Playing Star Wars? Right. So here's how we're just kind of laying out the body on this. So if we take that off, I did like the arm. You have the arm up on here. Then we have a lat muscle kind of back here that connects. So we put that layer back on. Right. So a lot of that is just kind of let's measure stuff out. Right now, I think her legs are too squatty. Um, so we extend the legs on this and make it kind of full person. Um, Also, let's think of like what kind of poses we would want. This is a big ass weapon for a zombie, which you might want. That might be okay. That might be totally okay. Um, but if she's a zombie, like, do we want her like standing straight up and down? So could we have a sort of like a zombie pose to her? Like, what else could we do with stuff? Um, to think about things, right? Like zombies could be. Especially because she does look so dead in the eyes. Also, I would probably have the axe coming out this way. So we could thumbnail out different poses, different things like, is she gonna be dragging a leg? Is she gonna be squatting over? How do zombies move? Like, what do we want? What do we want this character to be? Um, right now she's standing straight up and down, it's like sort of fierce warrior type pose. But there's not much personality to it, right? Yo, welcome back, Elysium. Did you get some grub over there? Was working on Adobe character animation for stream, then got into an episode of Black Mirror. Which season of Black Mirror are you on? Alright, so little hunch over. You know, no jaw here. Let me zoom in on that for you guys a little bit more. I forget sometimes this looks really big on my tablet, but it's not great for you guys. And we could still have the arm like hanging down on this, right? Just shows more weight, more gravity. To everything we have going on. After the border idea, what else was suggested, if anything? I did grab some food. I was kind of thinking more like smaller stars that were kind of pushed up and away from the moon, away from the horizon line, and then we made the pillar, the rock pillar in the background bigger, and we kind of gave it some smaller shapes around it. What's up, Cat? How you doing, Cat? What's going on over there? So yeah, this is kind of some stuff we think about. Just basic character design 101 stuff. Think about the personality of the character. Maybe we give her like some rib cage kind of poking out. So we give her like a really sunken torso here, and I guess you got like a t-shirt on her. But like the cool things with the arm chopped off, kind of hanging out, right? So we can kind of have that drag in the ground. Not bad. It's my Friday at work. Yeah, you got the next couple days off to chill out and relax, do some art. Are you gonna edit more pages? What's up, Junior? I've been here the whole time. Bunch of suckers. I don't know. What's up, Junior? How you doing, man? What'd you get for some grub over there, Elysium? Okay. Other thing is too, like I think with the hand. So we have the hand on this. Um, Kind of just closed up, kind of hanging out here. But like, if this is sort of a dead hand, like, what other ways can we show it? It looks angry and clenched right now. Oh, can you hear? Do you have audio? Handful of almonds, handful of goji berries, dude. Gojis are pretty nice though. Are you trying to lose weight or just diet healthy in general or what? Try to like to finish one of my drawings. Yeah, yeah. How's work going today so far? Which drawing you think you're gonna finish? So one thing we can do with like a hand that's kind of hanging down dead here. Right. We just kind of maybe have the fingers kind of open. You know. Also, when in doubt, finger outie, right? Just make it look a little bit spooky. Ooh, spooky. Or maybe like curled up here. Just whatever. Whatever we want to do. We want to go like maybe just kind of like hanging out. Whatever. As long as it's not. I think this kind of clenched fist just kind of looks a little bit. I don't want to say lazy because I know it's not lazy, but like there's no real dramatic feeling to it, you know? So we kind of look at those things like what else can we do with this type of stuff, right? Like I know even on noses, right? So we can kind of clean that nose up a little bit. Maybe give her a little bit of eyebrow. Keep that side of the face there, right? Also, her lip might be way up here more too, just to kind of proportion her face, right? And then we kind of keep whatever's going on here. We have a lot sort of clustered. So we kind of want to make things like really clear on what we're trying to show. She's got no jaw, then maybe black that out a little bit. Somewhere between trying to build, but also wanting to lose a mini pot belly. Oh, so kind of like I don't want to say clean bulk, but just put on muscle, but trim down. Spoopy, what's up, Ari? Welcome back. How's the kiddo doing? Mob Lucifer flirting with a singer. Flirting with a singer. Okay, okay. All right. Making a deal with the devil, sort of thing. Same thing with knees, right? So one way we could draw knees and legs, just in general, right? As we kind of go through here, we don't need like 4 little spots, but those ones at the bottom, we can almost get away with 1 spot at the top, right? But you can do that one thing at the bottom here, and our feet, right? So feet, I kind of talked about this before, like with feet. I tend to think of a clamp goes around here where our ankle bones and stuff are. And then I put like a little bit of a triangle space. Right, so I do this with knees. I kind of draw this little diamond shape. Whatever direction it's going. And there's a little padding around it. And again, more triangle stuff. More triangle stuff for the feet. Just think simple with it, right? But don't give her just kind of those nubs there, right? I got audio, but I'm usually working. Oh, I'm usually working while I'm on. Yeah. Which you totally don't listen to me at work. I already know that. You totally don't. You never do that. Eating tacos? Oh, did you already get tacos? I thought you waited till after meetings and stuff to get tacos. Has she hid any keys lately? Okay, so that's kind of general ideas on this. Is thinking about where the outfits want to go. You know, when you draw rips, like when you draw clothing and stuff, try not to keep our lines. Try to keep our lines. From not like looking too sloppy, like they're going into different things, different areas. I got them before now. Since I do, oh, you do curbside pickup. That's right. Nobody can leave. Has anybody in your complex tested positive or anything? So just little things here we can think about. Also with hair kind of comes out of those parts. We also might want to give her some little eyelashes back here. Just little shit like this, you know. What can we play with? What can we look at? If we have like intestines and entrails, rather than just kind of making blob shapes, how can we make these shapes that like add weight and and fit. I think somebody earlier said there was no, there's no accidents, right? So how can we make these things feel like they add like motion, but also like balance into what you're drawing? What's up, Jalen? What's up, my boy? How you doing, son? How's work, dude? Brother Jalen, your beard looking extra beautiful today, my guy. Is it? I took a salt bath thing last night, and I got a good soak. I got all the way in on it. Maybe it's those minerals popping off. Got home. How was work, man? How you feeling, dude? Okay, so there's our zombie girl for now. I'm not gonna on as far as the colors, bring the colors out a little bit. I know that the people like these really dark, kind of slimy greens, and they're great for horror stuff. But we can kind of mute this down a little bit. That way, the hairs sort of popping from it, um, and like the colors can kind of push apart more too, right? I showed Aki's DBZ, Scoob Doodle, love it. No, no, nobody need to see that. No, I will not be bringing that one up on stream. um, oh, you haven't seen it yet? Thank God. That was the lewdest one so far. Although Bunny Boy was right up there. Bunny Boy was definitely right up there. Okay, I think we got a second piece from the same person. We'll go over this as well. Jalen, you got anything? Ben, I'm close, by the way. Sketch, Ben. If you're here, I'm really close to the end. Lewd, you say? No. No. I don't think Circa's here. I think she's got stuff to do. Thank God. Thank fucking God. Here, I'm close. I'm close to the end. I got one more left. No, she's not here. I'm sorry. There's nobody here. There's nobody here with that link. I'm so sorry. Nothing for you guys. I got you, brother. You don't got no. No. People got stuff to do, man. They got stuff to do. Um, like you should be working on some comic pages right now. Reaction is priceless. Oh fuck. Who clipped Aki? God, Aki. He's literally crying. Yeah, there was a lot of pain in that moment. There was definitely a lot of pain. You're right. Okay, so next piece up. I think same person. Like drawing scoops as a Sailor Scout? No, I don't think so. I don't fucking think so. So busy. You don't need to be doing anything over there. Maybe pottery stuff. Aren't you gonna? Don't you gotta like design a yoga class or something? Okay, let me see. This one's really dark. That's my first thing. Is like, um, I don't know if we can. Yoga isn't till Friday, really. I gotta deal with you for a whole week till yoga. I wish you could make some pottery. Oh, don't rub salt in my wounds. Yeah. You can't really do anything at home, even like practice stuff, right? Who is Master Roshi? Apparently, Roshi is the entire community. That's what Aki said. He's like Roshi's the entire community. Yoga's Friday. I don't think you're streaming it yet, though, right? Okay, so I'm upping the brightness on this, just so we can kind of see some stuff. Whoops. Right, see what's in the background there. You see all that detail that we lost without having that brightness and stuff upped on there. This is definitely gonna need. What's up, Pastel? Pastel, how you doing? What's going on? How you doing over there, Pastel? Hey, Quirky. What's up, Quirky? I can mess with polymer clay here, but it's just not the same. Polymer is like the stuff that they do to make the little action figures, right? We are on our last couple critiques, by the way. So if you guys have anything that you want to drop in, do it. I would do it now. Finish this octopus. Fingers crossed. I can do it. You can do it. Oh yeah, that's right. Because tomorrow is your shop day, right? Although it's telling me I have 3 hours left on bills. So, um, guys, if you're not following Tall and Quirky, by the way, and Art by Jalen, who just popped in, show them some love as well. And Amber, who will be teaching yoga, I think in the future. Um, Go show them some love. They're fantastically talented individuals, and they make incredible stuff. And Pastel will have on May Petals, we'll have her shop updated tomorrow with all her new stuff. Dude, drop in whatever you want, man. You know the drill. If you guys think you can learn something from it, or other people can learn something from it, drop it in. Um, I believe there's a group out there using it for a doll. Oh, really? Yeah, I was thinking the thing that I was thinking with polymer clay was people making like drawing figurines and shit like that. Old for you as well. Okay, yeah. Like I said, we got like one more left to go. So drop them in if you can quick. That way I won't have to like splice up the video a bunch. Even though I know Jake keeps bugging me to get the video and edit it. Um, I could use help. You could use help. All right, Quirky. Yeah, drop it in. Drop it in. Print out, upload to site. Time to grind. Yeah. Are you gonna be lurk? If you're gonna be lurk mode all night, just do it up. Do what you gotta do. I'll be working with you all night too. So I want to get this one commission inked up and ready to go. So we'll be grinding after this, especially tonight's stream. Okay, so basic thing on this. We're talking basic, sort of basic composition rules. One thing with these three characters sort of clustered in, and this is sort of an easy split that we can do, is sort of not having your characters all along the same eye line, and just kind of, if we stagger them a bit, just having characters that are on different eye lines and different lines of the body, right? So we have a guy up top here, right? And then we have this guy kind of in the middle, and then we have her. But what we can easily do is kind of put her over to the side. That way they're not all on the same level. That goes for the background as well. All right, so Jalen's got one. Amber and Quirk. Lurk mode popping every now and then to tell you guys no. Thank you, Robin. Thank you. I appreciate that. 2016. Oh shit, we're gonna go way back on it. All right, all right. So then we'll kind of just grab our paintbrush here. Just kind of drop her back. It's still so dark on this. I really want to pop more stuff out. I know it's like a horror comic type of vibe, um, but we can still do a lot of things with popping stuff out. So a big thing to me would be the balance as well. He's just the skull in the background. Like it's a cool idea. It's a great drawing, but like a lot of it's just the weight. Like where can we move him around? Where can we put these people? Thumbnail your stuff out too. You can always kind of test these out. What you see, right? So we can make little thumbnails like this, and then sort of see like where we want everything to pop. Like we want that. I would say Nerd City could be a little bit more smaller down here, right? That title. How can we kind of play these guys up a little bit? We can make the head quite a bit bigger. We can make these three guys in the middle, right? What perspectives can we try? So like here I can think of like maybe like a sort of like a top down, gives it like a horror feel to it. So we draw like the characters like this. And this kind of almost feels like sort of like a cult occult thing with that devil head in the background too. Like that might be a cool thing to try. Just what can we play with? But use like all these little like thumbnails and kind of make black and white shapes and try carving stuff out and see like what balance works, right? So we get like a white, maybe Nerd City up here, and then Devil here, and then maybe like coming up from the top, right? So maybe we try the devil face here in the background, and then maybe we're looking at them sort of looking down. What can we do with this? Basically, that's what I'm saying. Try different things. Try to come up with different compositions. Right now we have them so bunched together. It's just not totally working together. Um, Clouds are another area random. Okay, let's check it out. Poly. If no times, okay, we'll throw all these up there. All right. Which room you want them in? Drop them in chat. Drop them in chat, Ben. Like everybody else is kind of doing. That way I can grab them. So yeah, those are the things. I think the devil head in the background is really cultish and it looks really cool. It really fits that old sort of Dracula horror movie vibe. Fucking good stuff there. All right, so now let's kind of jump on these other ones here as well. I think this one's Masters. This one's Masters 8, I think. Solid neck veins here, bro. I know he's playing D&D right now. Okay, so this one's Masters, and on his piece, kind of same similar stuff we talked about earlier. So we're gonna just, I think he's working on this on a phone too, because I don't see any line weights, right? So this is his Sailor Scuba, or not Sailor Scuba, Super Saiyan. Because apparently now Diva started Super Saiyan Scuba, so now there's opposing sides to the fan art. And be like, what the fuck was I actually doing asking for a print? Yeah, I do go through my old art a lot, actually. Well, probably more on DeviantArt. I don't know about folders and stuff. Alright, so when we draw our heads, just kind of start out with that cylinder, right? And then we kind of want to divide that down the middle, and then I usually divide that into thirds. Right, then we have the ear back here. Alright, then with hats are really tricky. So hats are really tricky. I start usually like around one eye, I make the bill. Or like the sort of like that brim where it connects to the hat, sort of back behind the first eye. Um, and then I kind of, depending on your angle of it, it's just kind of like a rounded shape, like a half tube, usually with that bill. Like I said, depends on the angle of the curve you want of the bill there as well. But hats actually usually give me a lot of fucking trouble. They still do when I draw them on characters. Um, but think of that half pipe. We draw that cylinder a lot. Think of that pipe, that cylinder. Give him some Toriyama-esque eyes here. I kind of measure the same way I kind of draw the head, where I draw that line that comes off the hair, is how I draw that hat back. You find it encouraging, yeah. When it drop it in, man, drop it in. I'll pull it up and I'll put it in the browser with everybody else's. I got like a bunch on a browser, just kind of waiting. So I'll just go through them all. Is it not just a mind blowing experience? It kind of is, but doesn't it show you? Don't you feel like you can see how see where you've got with stuff? So with the beards are depends how you want to draw them, but like we kind of get these little tufts of hair that kind of go up that sideburn area. Right. So I do a lot of grouping with the big, medium, small stuff, right? With hair in general. Um, sort of these small areas, these bigger areas, kind of clumping it all right in there, okay? And then we got the neck, so the neck into the torso area. Like I said, drawing the shoulders instead of drawing the shoulders up, like a lot of people do, we'll draw the shoulders up kind of stiff like this. Um, think of them hanging down and pulling weight off the body too, right? Especially if they come off of like a thick neck, right? Keeping our center line down, but then those shoulders kind of they're pulled down, and that kind of gives some weight, more weight to the body. I can't believe I'm drawing this. All right, so we got that neck, the neck tube that comes down on the body, and then we talked earlier a little bit about traps and stuff. Traps just kind of they make this triangle shape that comes off of your neck, that connects to that shoulder. So this adds like that meat to that body. Right. So then clothing and stuff. Um, with our clothing, push points, pull points. Remember those, right? Right now I'm just drawing pulls. I'm just drawing lines that make pulls, and then I'm connecting which lines I'm looking at and liking. I'm not putting like a whole lot of thought into it. I'm just making lines that go with gravity, and I'm just realizing that these are pull points. All of these are pull points that are kind of coming across here, and in the middle that makes that pinch point. When we do pinch points, way to kind of shorthand it is that little triangle shape, right? So now we have this little triangle shape, sort of like this off triangle. So a lot of this is just shorthand, right? I'm not necessarily thinking about the full width and depth of these clothing lines, but I'm thinking about just the shorthand that it makes. Visually, so much of this is symbols, just symbols, that tells you a lot. Color composition I don't like. I'm so proud of myself. I improved so much. I look at like, damn, I was an idiot for those choices. Super Scoop, you say a purple bow. I don't think he needs a purple bow. I don't think he needs a purple bow. I don't think he needs any bow, actually. This is Super Saiyan, first of all. First of all, this is fucking Super Saiyan. At least some people have the decency to draw me in a Super Saiyan form. Okay, so just those are general ideas for your sketch. Um, like on how we could get some of those general proportions on this Masters. I think we had a question the other night about folds going across the tank top, and usually I just kind of connect those. Same thing with pull points on the sides of the body, right? So they're just pulling across. In the middle, they kind of make pinch points if they even go that far across. Need a purple skirt, green skirt, or red skirt? No, no. It looks more like Krillin with a beard. um, yeah, if he wasn't getting punked out the whole time. Okay, so that's my quick crit on yours, Masters. Whenever you see this, um, I'll leave the Super Saiyan Glow tutorial for next time. Um, but yeah, let's jump to our next one because we did quite a few submitted here. So I think this one was Jalen's. Me now? Oh, drop yours in chat, Ben. Drop yours in chat. I'll pull it up and I'll put it with the rest of them. It'll just go in order, but drop a link to it in chat. That way I can pull it up and put it in the browser list with the rest of them. And I'll just have them. I'll have them that way. While I go through them, like whatever's in the browser next, I just pull it off there. First sketch, second improvement. Okay, which one do you want me to crit? Are they different ones? So you want me to go over the second one then, I guess? Because that's your most updated one? Go with the second? Okay, cool, cool, cool. Sweet, will do. Alright, Jalen, is this yours? Is this my son's? This is Jalen's? Alright. This is early? How long ago did you say this was? I love that you have like the emotion and stuff coming off of this. Okay, so my general thoughts on yours. Let's kind of zoom in here. Did you go off of reference on this? I'm kind of just curious. Um, or this is all your thing. These lines, these hatch lines feel so like McFarlane. Yeah, this is pretty slick, man. I could tell your line works improved a lot. Okay, so first things first, man, these old school cracks in the foundation stuff. Back before we kind of know how to draw cracks and stuff. Keep your things kind of sharp, right? So with like anything like wear and tear type of stuff, right? Um, we can kind of show that perspective of it dipping down. Instead of making them more like squiggly, I tend to go with more sharp cuts on stuff, okay? Love me some Spider-Man. Yeah, this is really really cool. All right, so then in the middle, well, he's got a glow chest, so chest piece. I was going to say like I kind of wanted to throw some darker colors over the top of this, just because that he's kind of backlit by that light even more. Which might make it cool when that spider glows. But even down the middle, right? So we're dropping all that down a little bit. And then kind of like popping that glow out a little bit more. Depending on how strong this is, too. Why is that not working like I want it to at all? Alright, let's try another layer. So let's set this to maybe an added glow. Kind of hit that a little bit, right? Maybe we'd hit the underside of his mask a little bit. See what that does. Just a little bit of those glows right there. Comes off on his leg, you know. Just add little spots on it. Same with the lightning, right? We can kind of hit that top where we kind of outline him where that lighting might be sort of like reflecting on it. Even with these webs and stuff. We can try, see how we just lighten a little bit of it. Even like the underside. Touch on his left. Yeah, I was thinking just a little touch on it. Yeah, we were in that same boat on that. I think it looks really good with the. See, you kind of blacked out all the webbing on this, which made it hard to see. But like, if we just add the top of it, kind of glowing, sort of like reflecting that a little bit. Now we can kind of see it through there. Um, really helps it make a lot more dramatic, right? And it actually looks really good with the darkness to it, because then it kind of looks full. Conspiracy. Oh, you like to listen to conspiracies? Yeah, Jay. Allows you to really pull into the composition, right? So that's just like those little bit of edges that we can have, right? But some of that is just kind of making things darker, right? So there's your original so far. This really is just kind of like rim lighting stuff. And a lot of it's just playing with contrast as well. When we have two light sources, we usually shade right down the middle on stuff. Right, so I think he's probably have some more muscle and stuff back here, right? Maybe a little bit of light where it's hidden there. But that trap kind of comes in. Some muscle that kind of tucks in here. I'm doing that now. What conspiracy are you on over there? Right, so we just making some little changes here. Also, the light hitting him, making a shadow underneath there would probably come forward all the way. I'm guessing, right? And it might be cool to kind of just play around with the webbing and stuff and just see maybe what we can do with webbing that kind of comes around. I mean, it might not do like that, right? But these are always kind of cool things you can play with, like foreground, background shapes and stuff. Just to kind of see how you frame it, you know. What's up, morning, Fleth? How you doing, dude? This is Jalen's. Yeah, he did a badass job on it. This is an old piece of Jalen's. But see, we see how we have some light reflected here and stuff. So this is Jalen's original work here, and these are our things that we're kind of editing. We kind of made it a little bit darker on the inside to pop out those glows. I'm just kind of messing with the idea of webbing and stuff. And then we added a little bit of rim light on there. Moody as fuck, I like it. Yeah, it's really, really cool. Yeah, I don't know where he bounced out to, but this is his old work. Okay, so those are my general ideas on your stuff there. A lot of it deals with that lighting stuff, and like I said, the way that we do cracks has definitely leveled up. You know, in buildings and stuff, you know, making more of these jagged edges. We can take chunks out of stuff. We can have little hatch marks as well. All these things. I don't know if this is all digi or not. He might have done this traditional too back in the day. I love some rim light. Yeah, it can really be useful. Really be useful. Also, I wouldn't use black on that webbing. I would use different tones of the white and the grays and stuff like that. Um, Dude, yeah, when you can tell how Jalen's improved. The cool thing with looking at this is like you can tell just how much he's improved on his work too. Um, it's really good, really good. Um, to just go back on those. Okay, so next one up I think is Amber's. Did you just start to use rim light? It can be really cool if you use it in the right context, right? Rim light. But you know what? It's not something that I think gets taught right away either. People I think teach lighting stuff just in general, um, and they teach like how to shade light and shadow when the light source is in one place and then kind of falling and hitting another place, um, and like that's kind of how we learn lighting stuff. And then it's not till like later on that we start learning like the little tricks in between to uh, to make shit pop out even more. Okay, so this is Amber's. This is really cutesy. Let's see. Do you want him to kind of look nervous or more happy or more mischievous? Welcome back, dude. I just did yours, man. I literally just did yours. No, you don't. Okay. Realize how it worked. Yeah. Light sources, like the studies show you a lot of different things too, right? It's okay. I literally just did it. So timestamp this, and then go back about 10-15 minutes, man. You can. I think you can literally watch a VOD as it's going on, right? Yeah, you can peep the YouTube video, which I do appreciate when you guys watch those and like give them thumbs up and all that shit. Leave comments. That helps a lot. I'm hoping to market a lot more on YouTube and gain ground there. Um, but I know nothing I have is really flashy right now. It's just literally just these critique videos. Um, Bugging the crap out of you. Yeah, he kind of feels a little bit South Parkish. I'll tell you what I think where I think you kind of can fix it. So you're really heavy on the bottom here, right? And that's what kind of why he maybe looks nervous and stuff. So generally we keep the top eyes, uh, top eyelashes quite a bit heavier than the bottom ones. Um, so all we did so far was just cut those down. But that's the difference between like this and this, right? I also kind of like to play with that light coming from the top rather than the bottom. Because usually that's where light's coming from, right? Now you can have both. You can definitely have both. Like you can even, if you're gonna do bottom specs, they usually are smaller and they're usually right across opposite sides. Yeah, this house. I feel like you might have to know form lighting to an extent. Yes, I think so. Absolutely. Without proper form light, you're yeah, because you won't know. You'll just know that you're tracing around the outside of an object, right? What do I draw on? I draw on a Yanova tablet. So here, let me type in my tablet thing there. Okay, the light is supposed to be coming from the wire. Okay, that this can work too. This can work too. There's no real strong lighting on him right now, or shading on him at the moment, since it's all just flats. Um, but like so far, we're just kind of fixing. We're just going in and fixing the eyes really quick. So you can kind of see what we've got before and now after by just moving a few things around, right? Um, and even in this case, we can still make this a little bit thicker black, and we kind of trace down the side of it even. We can taper it off on the outside. So usually top and outside is usually where we have more of our weight on stuff, right? Have done anything beyond the flat colors? Okay. Do you want me to go in on like some shading stuff? Pal of mine, how you feeling over there? Yeah, yeah, no problem. I also use an iPad too, Corian. But just not when I stream. Without form, it's just an outline. Yeah, yeah. Which sometimes I'm guilty of doing that, and it still can kind of look pretty damn good. Just throwing an outline on there, you know. Okay, so then you want to figure out lighting and stuff. So if the shade on him is coming from the bottom here, then usually we'll have so everything up here would kind of be blocked, right? Generally that's when we kind of have sort of like just drawing the opposite of what we normally do with shadows. I still kind of keep it dark under here, simply because like a lot of that still doesn't really hit. And then I'm kind of like rounding the shadow out around the face a little bit. And then like all this, obviously all this stuff would be probably dropped in the shadow as well. Everything kind of goes around it, with, obviously keeping with natural rules of the face and stuff like that. things like that, right? The odd art is like more. The odd art is more. What's up, Wizzo? New to cell shading, it's definitely not as convenient in Infinity as if you want. I'm new to cell shading. It's definitely not as convenient in Infinity as it because you're working in vectors and stuff, right? Um, what's up, Angel? The first Frozen movie came out 7 years ago. Yeah, it's been a while. It's been that song's been around forever. It's so easy with CSP is because CSP is made to do this type of stuff. You know what I mean? CSP is designed to do this type of stuff fast, right? Yeah, vector is your weakness. Yeah, and like the see, I'm not working in vector right now, so I can't do like the lasso tool stuff, lasso fill tool stuff with it as much. And I don't know why you love working in vector as much, but I know a lot of people do, so that's okay. Um, Maybe there's something you can find that kind of fits your needs on stuff too, right? But yeah, I love the lasso fill tool. Some programs do have a lasso tool, and then you can select an option to lasso and fill with it, right? So this is kind of the sort of the look that I would give him, right? To have that fire kind of coming up from him. Although I would definitely probably I'd definitely probably put a color on this, if I'm going to be honest. So I just kind of lock my line layer to color over it, and then I just pick a color, and now see it's way warmer. Um, that gives it so much more pop on him. And then I think you can even generally you can do like a sort of like a dark shade sort of around that highlight. And sometimes that'll add stuff to it. I don't know if I like that as much. Gonna head out. Yo, Elysium, thank you so much for the raid and bringing people over. I appreciate that. Gameplay looks sick. Thank you for being here again. I'm glad I at least got your name right later on. As chat went later on, guys, go follow Elysium. Go show them some love. Check out all the Ghost of Tsushima gameplay that I can't watch because I'm lame and I work all the time. But you guys should go watch it, and it's fucking amazing. Um, I didn't want to say anything, but you were scaring me using black to shade. Yeah, because my main course then was just kind of show the place of shading. Always, always I tried to get my shading down, like just the placement of it first, and then I'll kind of go around. The very last thing I do after flats and stuff, that's when I go around and I tonal correct things, um, just to kind of see where they fit, you know. But yeah, I stay away from gray and black as much as humanly possible in shading. You know, I think I kind of ranted on that before about this. Um, Use purples, use reds, use whatever colors you can try to fit in there as much as possible. Okay, but does that help a lot, Amber? Did you have any more questions on stuff? What's up, Queen? How you doing over there? Queen, how's your day going? Blue or magenta shade, yeah. That helps wonderfully. Okay, do you want to screen cap this at all to use it? If you guys want to screen cap your critiques, let me know before I close them out. You're not good. Are you sick or what? Never, yeah, never blacks and grays. For me, anyways, never blacks and grays. They just, I don't know, man. They just dole a piece out so much. You see how much difference that made? Got it. All right. Okay, perfect, perfect. All right, so close that. We'll jump to our next one. How you guys feeling, by the way? You guys doing good? Hanging in there? Uh-oh. This is Quirkies. It's Quirkies. You got forced to go into work on your day off? How did you get forced into it on your day off? Danke, 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 danke. Come on, danke. Gray can make a color. Yeah, you showed me that too, Tanium, which I thought was really interesting. I have a hard time with grays over. Maybe it's just over the top of colors. I think the way you showed it was in a painting, right? And I'm thinking about it more with a gray, or like a shadow. Can look nice, but it's a goddamn nightmare to do properly. It's so much easier. Yeah, it is. I feel like with pure black, like I work with pure black in my line art a lot, and sometimes it can be really hard to like sort of like mesh them up with cell shading line art or bright colors, you know. Everyone is losing. Oh, someone at work got COVID. Everyone's losing their shit, and you have to go into work still. Is everybody like worried there? Hey, welcome back, Fletch. You go, or maybe the store should be shut down. You know, um, I mean, maybe if somebody gets COVID, maybe the store should be shut down. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. See, this is a cool line art style, and these don't all look totally. Well, no, they are totally. They're using clear black. Um, they're using a lot of really cool hard edge shapes too. Warm gray good too. The store should be shut down, but they probably won't ever do that. I don't know. I actually don't know where Queen works. If a second person gets it, I ain't going in. I feel like in those situations with what we're dealing with, management should kind of say like, all right, somebody got it, let's shut it down. Everybody go get tested if you can. Um, like play it safe, you know. I don't know, Ben. I don't know. The thing that I know businesses were going for was they were trying to get a liability opt out from. Uh, I know our GOP was trying to put a liability thing in the next stimulus plan. That way, businesses can't get sued for making people work when somebody's got COVID. Which, go figure, that's the priority, you know. No way I'd go on a day off, especially. Yeah, I would have just told them to fuck off. But I guess you got to pay bills. Far easier for me to say than somebody in Queen's position that's got to actually pay those bills with that job, right? Um, I would do a written complaint, Queen. Do a written complaint that people that your management knew that somebody had COVID, and just have it on record in case anybody else gets sick, because then maybe you have a legal case too. I don't know all. I don't know if that's right, totally right, but I know somebody else had kind of said something about that too. They had documented proof of somebody in the workplace having COVID, and when they got it, now I think they're getting money for it, um, as sort of like a settlement. I don't know if it is Colorado. Is this Quirk? Where are you at, Quirk? As the art director of a super giant. They're the ones who did like all the different games. Like, what was those games? What the fuck were those games called? Bastion and the other sword one, right? Yeah, this is Quirky's follow tall and quirky, amazing damn artist. Uh, check her stuff out on Instagram. Feel free to drop your Instagram in chat. This is beautiful work. What are you curious on this one? What's up, Kieran? How you doing? Work if you feel unsafe. I don't know if we have any sort of protection on stuff out here. Once you seem to have no brains. I don't. My boss. You don't want your boss to get in trouble. Yeah. Transistor. That's right. Cat barbed. Oh, it's okay. Do you gotta go clean up? Go clean up if you gotta clean up. Unlighted take you to court. That doesn't even cross our minds here. Really? Taking people to court doesn't cross your minds there? This is all we do here. He knew this would happen in the future and always prepared. Also, I just don't like people. I just don't like people. Kieran, how you doing, baby? What's going on, man? And I have a ton of shit going on at the same time. Yeah, and it's probably not even your manager's fault. It's probably like the owner. It's the owner and general manager, I'm guessing, that make the decision to close down a store because we also have to think that manager would have to be out of a job as well. Um, oh, Pyre, that's right. Transistor looks really good. What's up? What's up, Josh? Hey, you finally resubbed? Damn, you resubbed 12 month streak. for a year. It's almost like we're family and we're just stuck together. It's disgusting. What's up, John? How you doing, man? Trying to let the tats use magic. I'm not sure if it's too busy. I don't think it's too busy. This might be too busy. This might be a little bit too busy though. Are you going to be redrawing this character over and over again? Like, what's it going to be used for? So like I'm kind of looking at it honestly, and I'm looking at just like the open space on this headdress, which I'm probably sure you're going to put stuff into. And down here, the reason this feels a little bit too busy for me if there's a space that's too busy. Here, let's do layer. Chilling in bed? You feeling okay, or just chilling, resting? Character concept? Okay. So this is an important thing to think with character concepts. When you guys are thinking about outfits and design and busyness, all those things, what what are you gonna do with this character? Are you going to have her in a game? Are you going to have her in a comic? Think about what the character would be doing, right? So this girl to me looks like she would be really cool if she was running around because you could kind of play with the sort of like fabric blowing around and stuff. If you were drawing this for a comic, then you have to draw that sort of like that. What do you call it? The thing that hangs down there. Every single panel, you have to draw all that detail. Right now, on my eyes, as I'm looking back on it, um, I think that the colors are a little bit off from the rest of her outfit, and I would like to see it just almost in different shades of red than maybe that sort of like that yellow green color you got going on. Um, I also wonder, have you tried? Well, it looks good with her headdress and the red. I would kind of stick with designs in that color spectrum, right? Because I'm thinking on this, like it would be cool to have those designs sort of like back here on the headdress too as well. But thinking in terms of like simple shapes and designs that kind of flow along with it, right? You know, just things like that, right? That way it keeps it really, 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 really simple. I'll do a key shot and illustration. Okay, concept for a game. Serang. I always feel guilty having wanting to have a day off and to be an artist. Twitch streams and network. Yeah. So I think it's just these colors. I don't think this is just maybe my personal choice. But I kind of wonder if we knocked out some of that green with the background color on it. How that would look. I, to me, I feel like that's a little bit too busy because of those extra colors in there, versus having like these simplified shapes. Just saying game is not enough. The concept of top-down MOBAs, fighting games, 3D. That's very true, right? That's very true. Um, so you got to think about what your designers are going to be modeling and stuff like that. Um, the reason I bring it up is because I'm looking at this from a comic artist perspective. And that if I got to redraw this scene after scene, that's too much detail, and I want to simplify it as much as possible. So I'm going to just kind of. It looks like an owl to me. I may be wrong on this, right? So I'm just kind of simplifying stuff to where it's like kind of one big shape. Third person RPG. Okay. My progress is very slow, mostly because I work. I mean, if it's stuff that we've gone over, I would probably save it till you have a lot of progress. You know what I mean? How does it work in black and white? Yeah, and I can do like a correction layer over this too. Might want to put in more detail on our back though, where the player will look. Oh, that's true. That's true. That's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking with the headpiece too. Was putting something up there, just something really simple design wise, right? Think of think of silhouettes, right? So if you black this out, one thing you do, like Tanny was even saying, is like we do layer correction layer. I think we can cut that down, right? So okay, so now this is the case that I was making, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and you tell me I'm wrong. The case that I was making of this being too busy, this area being too busy, right? Just kind of curious, which one seems to read a little bit more to you? My subs into shares and the Royals like that. What? So I saw a little bit on Twitter, but I didn't see what the fuck happened. Did he really buy part of the Royals? You're right. He bought the ownership group. Really? How much did he buy? Or did he buy the entire Royals? uh, Cause like that would be amazing if Mahomes took that fucking money and went and just bought the Royals. That would be like a power fucking move. Oh, just bought in. Okay, I was when I saw like the little like yeah minority interest. Yeah, maybe he'll just keep adding to it. When I saw like a little clip of it, I was like, if Mahomes just bought the Royals, that would be fucking sweet. Just came into town, got his contract extension, bought the Royals. You don't think you're happy with left arms pose on this, or I don't remember if I had the pants done last week. I mean, we'll do a critique every Tuesday, Queen. So if you think you're moving slow on it and you want to save it for next Tuesday, or you just want to use a critique at another time, you can do that. But it's up to you. At the bottom of the market for sports teams, yeah. I mean, yeah. And he's going to be stuck here for another 10, 12 years. Um, I did not fucking see that, though. Do you think they're going to have football season after the Marlins thing? Because that's kind of back. I feel like all it's going to take is one or two more teams for a breakout. A breakout, and one or two more teams, and I think people are going to start opting out. I know they were giving NFL players like a certain time to opt out of the season, right? Main shapes of the big pieces need to be easily defined when zoomed out. Her top has complex shapes with several overlapping shapes, the same near value. Do you mean like the jewelry and stuff? You don't think it's gonna be play? What's welcome back, Miss Raptor? How you doing? Okay, they blend together. Tanium's saying the tops kind of blend together. So we can kind of work on those designs. But yeah, this was my main thinking was use sort of like minimal dark or minimal colors in this. You've already got a good color palette. Stick with those colors and see how it does before adding like these new colors in, because you see how much that can pop out, right? And also, I think when you see stuff like this, it's a silhouette, and I think silhouettes are really important, especially when it comes to things. The way I think about character design is think like cosplay, and I think like, can somebody make this on their own? And I think you were talking about the tattoos maybe being too busy. That could be like another thing too. Is like, can somebody make this on their own? The way that I did this design, I'm not saying this is a good design, by the way. The way that I did this design was simply just big shapes that kind of went around the character, right? And I think you have like the big shapes here too, with these different things. I don't think this is really too busy, personally, but I think you're right on the edge of it. Like that's all you really need. But can you make an iconic design in that? Can you give it sort of like this looks like it could be a really cool iconic design right here in this triangle, but I'm not seeing all of it either. Her bra and belt are things and things. Velcro to the ball and to the football. I saw that. I saw that one. I don't know if it was real or fake, but there was a mock-up of a like a breathable mask that went over the face mask, and I don't know if it looked really cool or really stupid because it looked kind of dumb on what I saw, but like it looked like with the right color combinations, it could look really cool. But then it just you're gonna have people playing football and they can't fucking breathe. They're breathing through a fucking respirator mask. You think the colors are too close in values? Make one of them dark, much lighter, or something. Okay, okay. Flag football. With 6 foot flags, yeah, 6 foot flags. Oh, that was Under Armour. Okay, so that wasn't the official NFL thing, right? Okay, anything else quirky? I don't know if you're picking up cat puke right now or not. um, Also, I would kind of just what I'm thinking too. Well, that's for her feet, but you got her sandals, right? So it feels like it goes dark, dark. Then we have like a area, and then dark again a little bit, right? And then darks here, and then we kind of get light here. And I feel like it might be cool to kind of bounce some more darks and stuff. Like sort of like a dark medium, sort of like. So I'm adding stuff to her sandals really quick to see if those pop out. Um, I mean that is something we could do. Well, I could put it on here instead of having that color. I could put that shade there. Um, I know this is not going to be the right color, but I'm just going off the grays like Tanium's saying, the color values and stuff. I don't like that. It's a little bit too dark. Um, but I'm kind of wanting a feel for something dark in here too. But I think that's okay. Just some ideas you can try too. I'm out. Peace looks good. Still waiting for my 6 month prize. You don't get a 6 month prize. You're family. You don't get shit. You do my taxes and you know how much I make, so you don't get shit. Um, oxygen tanks and a snorkel. Okay, okay. All right, Quirky. Do you have any thoughts? Anything you want to add at all? I think kind of what Tanium's saying is the ideas of the grayscale, what people are saying too, with those values. What I'm thinking is I'm thinking in terms of logo design. Anytime I think of in terms of like clothing stuff, I think of can somebody cosplay this? Does this design on clothing look like a logo for? I think almost in terms of more like a logo for a business, as far as recognizability, rather than just like a tapestry that you might hang on a wall. I know maybe I think of things differently because I don't really work in game design and stuff like that, but that's how my mind wants to read. It's like I want to see a design on a character, and I want to know it's that character if it's just that design, right? Gonna wait till next week. Okay, okay, no worries at all, no worries at all, Queen. But yeah, those are my general thoughts on this. And like I said, if we knock those colors off, I think the colors. I love the way the yellows and stuff work. And if you want to push the blues, maybe pushing them more towards the purple. Um, like if you want to go dark on it, because purples and yellows play really nice together too, right? And with those reds, that's actually very valid for clothing designs. Okay, okay, that helps. Okay, okay, perfect, perfect, perfect. Created one of the race. I think I'm gonna experiment with different arm poses. Yeah, kind of give her some flair. All right, so that was Quirkies. Thank you for submitting, Quirky. Let's see, we got looks like three more here. Okay, who had the clouds one? This is fucking beautiful. This is like wallpaper. I also love that it's titled Cloud Drake because now I'm looking to see if like Drake's in the picture. I'm looking to see if Drake's anywhere. Very static pose. What's up, Connor? Good morning. How you doing over there, man? Then very basic chefs. Yes, and if you guys have Clip Studio Paint, I will show you one thing that uh, Well, there's a couple things you can do with character design and stuff. Clip Studio Paint allows you to use the lasso fill tool, and I think that's really good for um, doing silhouettes and shit like that, right? You can do carve outs, you can do full body stuff. I think there's probably a fill tool on other programs as well. Let's see. Edit fill this, right? So if I wanted to make a bunch of sort of character design stuff, um, maybe I'll just do this and keep it simple, right? And then I'll take a white, and then I'll just kind of carve in, or gray, or whatever color you want, right? And then just kind of see where I'm going with stuff, and then see like how does that look, right? Mainly want to talk about big, medium, small, and how do you... Oh, okay, okay. Are you familiar with the concepts of it, Paulie? Doing good, Connor. Doing good, man. We're just kind of nearing up the end of critique sessions. Oh, do you mean for quirky on this, or do you mean for your piece? Was this your piece with the clouds, Paulie? That do be mine. That's yours. Okay. So big, medium, small. I love that principle because it applies to fucking everything. It just applies to so many things in art, and this is also something that Polly's posting in chat. So this is kind of it. Less boring, less nice. So the whole idea is that you have a big shape, you have medium shapes, you have small shapes, right? And how do we mix those up within composition, right? So this is what we talked about with the stars earlier. We painted over the stars. You see this, how we have a big star and then like little tiny stars around it, stuff like that. So with this one, it's clouds. Get over that real quick. Okay. So with this, I'll be honest, it's probably going to be really hard for me to critique this one because I think it's a really good painting. I'm not a good painter. But when we're talking about design work, stuff like that, I think you have a lot of that. One thing you can maybe do is you do this with lasso tool, right? Or did you actually use a brush on this? Because if this is all lasso tool, first of all, fuck you for being way too talented. Um, but you have to teach me because I love how this looks. It looks a little bit smudged. Like there's a little bit of smudge out. 50-50? Okay, okay. That's Kristen Perry? Okay. I'm sad the forums don't exist anymore. The thread was a gold mine for learning. Yeah. Does conceptart.org, is that up still? Okay, so one thing we could do here, right? We're talking about big, medium, small. This applies also to color as well. This is not just a concept sort of design. This is a color sort of thing that we do. One thing I kind of am wanting to do on your piece though is just maybe bring stuff down to like a little bit of a level. I don't know. I'm just kind of wanting to do this. Sometimes clouds kind of fall apart, and that's how we can have small stuff, right? We have that scud that comes off there. Um, Wherever it came from. I'm kind of wanting to not have this kind of racing upwards. I'm wanting to like level it off a little bit. My eye just wants to level it off a little bit. Right, even back here, there's a sharp edge on a cloud. So I'm kind of, because it's back here, I want to know that's the edge of a cloud. So then I'm kind of maybe even giving that little scud. Also maybe cutting through this line a little bit as well back here. Just kind of seeing how stuff looks. See, I feel like this cloud is so big that it comes down here. It's gotta continue on this side somewhere. That's just my feeling on it. Even like these edges. I do like that you have these hard edges, but you also have a mix of I love that glow, but we also have to think how big this cloud is back here. It feels like it wants to run through the whole piece. So big, medium, small stuff. What we have is we have these smaller shapes up front here. We have probably potentially a little bit of like that. We're talking about that rim light earlier, right? Where we can kind of highlight stuff. Just to get on the edges. We'll see how this looks. I think this is behind another cloud, but I'm only doing this to kind of mess around with some of our focal point stuff. I don't know if it's going to work the way I want it to. We're going to experiment though. What I'm thinking in my head is still very work in progress. I've only done the upper left third, but I agree with what you're saying. I like the pure white rim light actually. You might have steal that. Yeah, steal whatever. You can steal whatever and ignore whatever, you know. I'm just, the reason I'm doing it is because I'm bringing just a little bit of attention up front on these. But kind of mess with it how you want. What I was thinking originally in my head for the idea of like wanting big, medium, small was really easy thing to do is just fucking draw birds. Same thing we talked about with those stars earlier, right? Kind of cluster them up and stuff, right? So we're kind of balancing. This also gives us the ability to cut these edges here, right? But also show the scope and the size of stuff. This was Pauly, dude. This is Pauly Owls. Pauly Owls is an awesome artist, right? You guys should toss him a follow. See what kind of shit he's got over there. I want to try doing some clouds and stuff like this now. I want you to teach me. Teach me how to do this shit. Okay, so this over here I would kind of knock out, but basic idea is I'm kind of drawing birds through it. You know, you can stop whenever you want. Do whatever, whenever. You could maybe have I think you do kind of have. This is a little bit too blurry. This one right here, I feel like it's a little bit too blurry, but it's kind of funny because I'm thinking about how things could look. Fuck, wrong layer. Because the rest of your stuff is so hard edged. I think it's a little bit too much. Honestly, and I kind of drop it back a little bit. I know you want that soft look, but it's more about, it's also remembering to keep consistency with your style too. Fuck. I'm just kind of knocking it back a little bit. I don't know if it's gonna do what I want, but anyways, what I wanted to try to do, see if it would work, was maybe create some scud in the foreground I don't know if it's going to work like I want, but... And then we would Gaussian blur it. That didn't really work like I want. But the idea is that maybe play with like a little bit of stuff in the foreground up on this part to break it. I like the how simple birds break through landscapes though. Disc live disc cloud tutorial and I love your style on your painting stuff. I really do. Um, I'm really infatuated with it. How you get these looks that you do. Small, medium, big. Yeah, they would, right? The birds are not. Yeah, the birds are kind of a cheap ploy. I see these in a lot of art, and I feel like it, but it works, right? Um, and I say cheap because it's one of those things that's so simple, but it works. I don't know how we would have. So we have the sun kind of cutting through here, maybe coming up through different layers of the cloud. Right. Maybe cutting through this one. Stuff like that. That's a little add glow. God rays always get me going. God rays and birds, man. That's how we just do it. That's just how we do it, right? So now maybe we hit or we add a little bit of those. Yeah. Hey, Fletchling, thank you for the sub, buddy. Thank you, man. Proper line work takes more skill, to be honest. Lasso tool is cheap. No, I don't know, man. This looks good though. God rays are busted. Yeah, so just different things. I kind of like highlighting that there more than just the rays, but um, I would definitely crank that down. I mean, I like the way you have it, but this is one of those things where your eyes can be a sucker for contrast. It's for the mint chocolate chip. Thank you, man. I think I have like one bolt left. I haven't been eating as much lately. I'm trying to get like a better diet. But yeah, so as far as big, medium, small, think about little things in nature you can use. Think about the way you can highlight it. It's not just the cloud shapes; it's the color shapes too, right? Big shapes right here. The reason this works right here, big shapes, and I'd say like probably like more of a smaller shape in here, smaller shape. Um, but all these together kind of make like a sort of a medium shape too. Small shape right here, right? This is your coloring too. It's big, medium, small exists on every level across every little part of it, and also so like the easy things to remember sometimes is that contrapposto and the big, medium, small, and like how can things tilt and how can things balance with each other. So there is your original, um, and we kind of got that one going. Just balancing some stuff out. I do really like the gold color you have, but like I don't feel like that shows that cloud's full mass, right? Which is a big shape, right? Compared to these small shapes up front. So something you want. It really works really well. Yes, that's true. That's true. It's not. It's definitely not cheating. You have a handle on shapes and shape languages. You really do. And you guys should go show some love to Polyals as well over there. Okay. So next one. What we got next? I think it's a little boy blue in chat. Maybe. Are we there yet? Nope, not quite there yet. One away from little boy blue. He might be our cleanup hitter here tonight. Looks like this is a more realistic piece. If you guys have the reference on your pieces at all, feel free to drop those too. Okay, so whose was this one? Oh no, don't hate, don't. um, that's heaven, dude. What's up, Rexa? Yeah, that was. It looked damn good. What's up, Rexa? How you doing, buddy? I already shared. Wrong, little boy blue. Well, you're next. You're next after this. I thought there was another. I didn't know there was another piece for you, but yeah. Whose was this one? Let me get all my anger out on this one before I go to Ben. Let me tear this one up before I go to Ben. I'll get all my aggression out on this. Whoever this was, oh, I'm gonna get torn up. Cause I gotta be nice for Ben. Is this Dexter? What's his name? Hey, Lord Vlad, what's up, buddy? How you doing, man? Okay, so quick things on this. Kind of looking at the face. The face is looking pretty good. I think there's some anatomical stuff like we talk about. We talk about flipping canvases, and we kind of see right away those center lines and stuff, right? Okay, this is your Sacred Haze. This is an old piece, right? Thanks, bro. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Awesome. Look awesome, like always, master. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. We are doing critiques today, Rexa. It's our critique Tuesday. So I think this is Sacred Hazes. Just chilling. We'll chill away with us. Like I said, I think we have two more left. If anybody has a last minute critique that they want to slide in, a JPEG or something like that, they want to get in, feel free to drop that in chat. Um, 8 years old, you've improved so much since then. So with this stuff, same type of scenario, right? I always kind of think drawing those center lines down the body, right, and kind of matching up stuff, um, and just kind of drawing through these figures. Like I don't have the obvious reference for it, but I feel like this eye is way above here. Right, easy thing to do with digitals is just mess with shit like that, right? So kind of even just moving that eye down, like even on here. I think I can maybe use the pencil brush, right? Let's sort of get this going. And then I feel like his hairline would probably come out here a little bit more too, just to kind of balance that side of the face. Um, Hard edges on the clothing and stuff, instead of being like sort of like so soft with everything. I think this is a definitely what we learn as we go too. You can just tell how much you and Jalen have improved, right? Um, it's really using those dark edges and stuff. Pencil sketchbook, so the whole flipping image doesn't really work. Yeah. Well, actually, no, it does. It does. What you do is you instead of flipping it, you draw it upside down, right? Never mind, take it back. I'm assuming mine was done when I was away. It might have been Fletch, yeah. But these will go on YouTube. Also, there's a VOD. I'll highlight it later at the end of the night, and then I'll put it up on YouTube probably tomorrow or Thursday. Can't find your old art. Did you get rid of all of it? Never thought about. Yes, and I watched a tattoo artist work like this actually. So so immediately I'm kind of seeing like and kind of give more room out to that nose. So I watched a tattoo artist literally work with an upside down canvas at one point. Um, I think in here, kind of one of those things where it's like, all right, so let's blend. Let's have our darkest darks and stuff. Really kind of give those edges, dark pupils. instead of like a lot of these midtones that we have. It's probably shit anyways. Take a picture with your phone or use them. Yes, a phone picture works really well. Actually a lot. Usually the head kind of comes out there a little bit more. So obviously this isn't a sketchbook, so it's going to be a bit more faded. Even when the picture's taken and stuff. And it was years ago, but these are just things to kind of look for the darkest dark areas and the highest highlight areas. Right now we don't have a lot of in between. We just have what we have, and that's a lot of like mid-tone areas. See if we can kind of blend this out. I'm still not really used to the blending tools in CSP. Not like not digging them that well. But we're just kind of giving it a little bit of darker edge. Take a picture with your phone. My illustration professor flips his canvas. It's one of the most useful things you can do with your art. Flip your canvas, draw upside down. Seriously, try drawing upside down. When you're doing portraits like this, try drawing upside down, um, and see how it goes when you're doing realism and stuff like that. So yeah, that would be my big thing with yours. I know you've made so much improvements, so I won't spend a ton of time on it because it's not like you're still making these same mistakes. But it's just like finding those little highlights, right? So we're kind of using this to teach people more than we are teaching Sacred Haze because Sacred's gone beyond this at this point. Deja vu, but if you have your paper, then turn it around and hold it to a light. Oh, look at it through reverse. Yeah, you can do the window too. Um, Upside down at toughest first, especially with charcoal. Yes, yes. But your eyes will learn to see the more you do it. Your eyes will actually learn to see the shapes and less of like what you think is there, right? So it's just like anything else. You gotta kind of got to practice it um, and develop your mind's eye to see some stuff. Okay, so those are those basic ideas. I'm just kind of giving a little bit of highlights and stuff on it. Take my old sketch portraits and redo them as it. That would be kind of cool. That would be kind of cool to see what you can do, like as a redo thing. Progress, right? He's kind of looking a little Tom Brady-ish at the moment, which I'm not a fan of. But yeah, those are my general ideas for you. Is the old Sacred Haze? I'm talking to you in the past. Use more use more of your values and contrast and stuff like that. And flipping your canvas is hugely important. Um, Got any recommendations of tools and recourses to help with composition? Not really. Nothing in particular to point you to. No. Um, Most of it I feel like is just looking at people's stuff online as you go and kind of studying it for yourself. Feel Learn to like feel weight of things and then ask yourself like why do I feel good about this one? Why do I feel good about that one? Um, like I can tell you right now, looking at this piece, right? What I would want to do with him. So there's little things that I look at. Like if things are on the same eye line, look at where people's eyes are. Usually, sometimes those um, don't always feels good. What I want to do with him is kind of move him over actually and down, and then move this person up, just instinctively, and instinctively I feel like it's off. But when I look at it and I've learned the eye line thing, then I know why I feel like it's off to me. Um, but so like just things like that, you'll kind of learn, you'll kind of pick up and go with. But if anybody else has particular courses, I don't know what Aaron Blaze teaches, but he might be a really good one if he's got any composition stuff. Give up on a piece if they're not feeling it. I'm nearly there with that assassin work. I'm doing at the minute. Oh, I want to give up on a lot of pieces, but most of my pieces, since they're jobs, I don't. But man, yeah, I want to give up on a lot of pieces. Or sometimes I'll want to just redo it. Oh yeah, photography videos. That's a really good idea. That's a really, really good idea. I didn't think about that. Okay, now, I got Little Boy Blue. What'd you end up making this on? You still got that iPad mini thing? Hides. iPad mini Procreate. Okay, cool, cool. Um, this personal, I'm not feeling it. Maybe throw it in that work in progress folder. I'm going to eat my hard drive. You're going to eat your hard drive. Don't do that. Don't do that. Oh, really? You took photography. I feel more confident with. Okay, that's a good that's a good thing to think about because I guess photography you're not worried about messing around with mixing paints and values as much as you're worried about that composition, right? You're probably much more focused on that. Purple lines were attempted to sketch later. Okay. So do you want this to have kind of a chibi feel to it? Because it's got kind of a chibi body proportion feel to it. But I feel like it's in between that and it's in between a normal person size drawing. Principles of Organ. Is that a book? So you want it to be chibi? Because I remember a few years back you were talking about doing chibi stuff. Elements that goes with doing arts. Yeah, yeah. That's true. That's very true, Dash. Very true. Had a whole class on it, but they're the same theories. You like the perspective of the desk? Did you use a ruler at all in Procreate? Also, I don't know if you have line stabilization on, but you can. I forgot what it's called, but if you click the pen tool on Procreate, it's called something else. Let me look it up. Element for your stream overlay. Okay. Okay, if you click on your brush and then click on the pen, I think it's called Streamline, right? It's called Streamline. That one that's pulled all the way up, right? That should help your line stabilization. So if you feel shaky with your line art on digital, sometimes tablets aren't quite the same as working on paper. Streamline, yes, thank you, Circa. It's not anti-aliasing. Anti-aliasing is the fuzz, right? This is like a stabilizer. Um, Use a straight line thinking, oh, you drag and hold. What I'm more thinking of is your lines right here, right? Being a little bit more shaky and stuff, and you can use Streamline to help with that. Because because digital art sometimes is a little bit tougher because there's no grit on the paper, so you you have to steady your hand on like a glass or plastic surface. Also, what's up, Circa? How's your day going over there? Okay, so you're wanting to make this a chibi. Um, the thing that you're doing right now. Hey, Joyce, what's up, guys? What's up, Joyce? Joyce, how you doing over there? Guys, like your legion, you're more than one Joyce. Guys, if you're not following Joyce Rainbow Arc, do so. Show her some love over there. We're doing good. What about you tonight? We're doing we're Tuesday. It's Tuesday, so we're doing a critique session. So we're critiquing people's work and stuff. Um, About to go hit the gym. Yeah. You sleep all day, all night again. Okay, so on things like chibis, um, I think you want to. My feeling on it is you want to go, but you want to make sure it's either chibi or not a chibi, right? And not kind of like an in between phase. So chibis, I kind of typically stick to 3 heads, 3 or 4 heads at the most. Um, yeah, they're a lot of fun, a lot of fun. If you have anything like a JPEG on anything you want to drop in, this is our last one, unless somebody has one more after that. But all people do is they drop a JPEG in a chat, and we kind of go over it really quick. But I got another half hour of stream, so if anybody's got one or two, let us know. What do you get up to over there, Joyce? You got up at a perfectly respectable hour. Thank you very much. Uh huh. Did you go to bed at a perfectly respectable hour? Okay. So, like I said, with chibi stuff, it's sort of like a kid sized body, right? But really emphasizing the head, the big heads on stuff. I would even have the body smaller than that. Usually when I draw chibis, now I kind of do this thing where I draw a weird body head, and I honestly keep it about 1.5 to 2. This is too much of a little kid size. Um, so if I was going to draw a sketch bin chibi, also thinking about how you can limit your details if you want to do cartooning too. Just so you can make sure to the viewer that it's very clear. Right? So I keep the head shapes really simple. Feet shapes really simple. I did for you, yeah. I was working on some commissions and teaching. Oh, what were you teaching? I actually have an underpainting I need help with. Yes, yes, for sure. Drop one in. Drop one in. Just submit a JPEG in a chat. Hey, can't you on? What's up, buddy? It's going good, man. I just saw a meme about Mahomes thinking about using the Royals' money to. Jeez. Hey, Jay, have a good night, buddy. We will, we will. You too, buddy. You too, man. I'm proud of you. Okay, you're doing really good work over there. Oh, semi-realistic but cartooned. So like manga stuff. Um, I mean, you definitely got the cartoon edge to it, right? So then, in that case, if you just want it cartoony, um, then we just kind of work on your proportions and stuff like that. Like, how can we sort of like, right? So I think this hand would be out further. If we want it cartoony but sort of realistic stuff, you're on the right path to that. 1 hour session for a corporate event teaching them how to draw unicorns. Really? Teaching corporate America how to draw unicorns. Was this like art therapy stuff or what? I did not see the Ferrari he bought. No, I should have gone to school to be incredibly athletic and naturally talented instead of getting my master's in pot. Yeah, yeah, man. Who would have thought, man? Always time to change those degrees, though, right? So we have this hand. I would put this hand right. If this hand is up laying on a desk, let's kind of like lay it on the desk. Well, like I'm saying up here too. This is the arm. So, um, you really kind of shorten up the forearm there, and we can kind of give it some more length on it. So just a little bit more length with stuff. I think you've kind of got a lot of it down. It's just you're just shortened up a little bit too, like the knee, right? So if the knee's coming up here, that knee usually comes up into the chest among most people, right? And that way we have a lot of room where it can kind of sit on the edge. Like I was saying earlier about your shapes with your lines, it's just don't be afraid to throw these out to kind of get these sort of like straight lines and stuff. Layer 195. Oh, what? um, Found the perfect thing to draw. I guess I'll be putting the mantis piece on the back burner. Are you still doing the feet drawing thing? Much work on the tones and proportions before I move on to color glazing. It's not fully rendered, but I like some feedback. Okay, I will throw that in the list next. Can't quite figure it out. Okay. I swear you make it look easy. I mean, it's not easy, but it's been 36 years of this. Oh, no feet. I thought you were doing a thing where you're trying to draw with feet. How did that turn out? This is just literally sketching and drawing every day. And kind of also making sure, like, I don't know. I watch Jim Lee and I feel like the same thing, though, right? So leg down here. This is going to come down further into the floor there. But also like hands, right? So you got that oven mitt idea going on, which is good. And all we gotta do really is move one finger kind of out, and then we got a respectable looking hand. Neck, head kind of comes out here. I was, but your feet really start to feel it. Well, you're drawing me, but then this is Sketchben. Are you Sketchben now? Are you Sketchben's alter ego? Sketch Siege. Hey, Jad, thank you for the sub, buddy. Sketch. Jim Lee's speed is crazy. Yes, it's all practice. You can get better. Yeah. A lot of it is just simple proportions and shit like that, right? Sketch Siege. the sketch bin man and the sketch siege man, yeah. So yeah, a lot of this is just your proportions on stuff too, man. With a lot of things in general that people have is finding that in between like even if it's cartoony, it doesn't need to be stumpy, right? It can still have the same proportions as real life and still be there. Cartoony is just a matter of like your details and how much rendering you have. I don't know if Bonnie is here. Jad, how you doing, man? How's your day going over there, baby? I'm not sure. Right, so, and then we kind of talked about the perspective on stuff. Feet are still really tough for me to draw, but like I said, I just think in terms of like triangles, shapes like that. Doing okay, should be sleeping, so about like normal, about like the past 2 years I've known you probably. Got a good tip tutorial for coloring. If you're in Procreate, do you want, like, are you talking about like how to pick colors or like how to color fast? Had to fix that. Well, I really appreciate it, man. That does mean a lot to me. Oh, drawing her orcas? Like, does she have a coloring book thing? I appreciate it, Jad. You don't have to sub, man. But I that does mean a lot. So thank you, dude. How to color fast? The way I color fast is using CSP. So, and I don't know about Procreate stuff quite as well. Siege Man probably does know the sketch Siege Man, who he's also open for commissions and stuff. If you guys are interested in commissions or need video editing stuff at all, he is doing full-time freelance. But he does work in Procreate on his streams, and he might know way more about that program than I am able to do. Support my man Siege. Yeah, he does amazing work. I went crazy? Alright. Hey, Joyce, thank you for the host. I appreciate that a lot. There's about tomorrow because I got the first appointment with the... Oh, yeah. I got you. It'll go good. I have no worries. I have no doubts. Damn, dude, that's dope, Vaughn. How much acid were you on when you painted this? Were you having flashbacks or what? Stay inside the line, color ain't my thing. It's not like there are all that many people I enjoy watching on my frequent 4 streams anymore, and it's the most convenient to use it on you since I already had it on you and can just click a button. So, you're not saying it's so much like support, it's more like lazy and apathy. Alright, yeah, no, that's cool, man. That's cool, dude. What's up, Hamstripe? How you doing, baby? Time for bed, yo, Connor. Have a great night, buddy. Have a great night, man. Just a pinch. It can be both. It can be both. Yeah, it can definitely be both. Okay, so I will show you, Ben. I do have anybody who is interested in coloring stuff. I do have tutorials on my YouTube on how I color really fast in Clip Studio Paint. There are 3 tools that I use to lay down colors really quick. I will show you guys those as well. Those of you guys who are new here, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. If you want to check out the store, the social, the webtoons at all, feel free to check those links. But I do have a bunch of YouTube videos up there. All these critique sessions go up to my YouTube channel after we're done. So people who miss it, you can watch it on YouTube, fast forward things, all that stuff. And people who have not seen it, maybe you get to see your art and maybe it's just learn something from you as well. And if we get, I feel like I'm trying to do an incentive on more videos, tutorial videos. Maybe like every 200 subscribers or something, I'll try to make a tutorial video on something new. I'll spend a day and just kind of do that. So, anyways, anyhoodle. So in Clip Studio Paint, there are 3 basic ways that I color quickly. One, you kind of need your clean line art, right? So we'll kind of get that laid out. This is a little bit messier than I would like, but just for the sake of this. And like I said, there's a video up on YouTube that's going to show us a lot better, because I made it specifically for YouTube, or for you guys to learn from, rather than doing it like on the fly with a sketch. a sketch bin. Please don't leave me. Please don't go anywhere. I'm doing good, man. Hot enough outside that the club's closed, so strapping up for solo training. I read that as clubs and I thought stripping. How do I refund a... You don't. It's, once it's through, man, it's through, and those are life regrets, right? You learn for the next month. That's all it is. That's all it really is. If your style favors broken lines, just duplicate the sketch layer, replace flats for references. Yeah. Also, you drag so there's like a corner with a color in it, and you click that, right? And you drag that into your lines, like I would drag that into here. And then it would fill in that gap, right? That would drop your flats into there. But as long as you hold down, it's the same way when you make the lines that, in Procreate, those of you guys know, you can draw a straight line like this, and as long as I'm holding down, it'll straighten out that line. If I make a circle like this, as long as I'm holding down and I don't let up the pen, it'll make a straight circle too. So, same thing with the colors. You drag that little color circle at the top, you drag it onto your area, whatever's enclosed, like all this, will get filled in. But as long as you're holding that pin down, you can drag it forward and backwards, and it'll have, it'll get closer and further away from the actual filling all the way to the edge of the line, right? Yeah, it would probably be easier to probably see it on a video, I'm sure. Repeating the same mistake next month. Okay, so as far as Clip Studio though, and this is the program that I highly think is probably the best for flat colors and stuff like that. This is how I do it. I'll create a new layer. I will set it to multiply. I will go underneath the line art. Now, what I do actually is cell shading. So this is going to be different from painting, but you can lay in your flats the same way as this. So there are different tools. There's refer other layers, which is kind of what I use as like a paint bucket tool. I just drop in and it just starts filling stuff. So it'll go a little outside here because I don't have that line all the way filled in, so it kind of jumped out there, right? So that's one thing we can do. We saw me use the lasso fill tool earlier. So that's another tool that I can use. I don't really use this for filling in colors like flats and stuff because it's a little less precise basically. But for making general shapes and stuff like that, it's perfect, it's beautiful. And then there's the close and fill tool. Sometimes I have issues with this. Let's see if it'll work for us. Basically what you do with close and fill tool is you go outside of a shape. And you kind of have to have that shape sort of colored in, right? Sometimes I always have issues with this one as well. I don't know why. But I hardly actually end up using this, to be honest. Usually this is just because a shape is closed in. So let me try it here. I don't know why it does this sometimes, but this is the one that gives me fits. I'm not really sure why. Because usually when I circle around that, it should fill that shape in. But this is why I use refer other layers. Because then I can just fill those shapes in. You always have broken lines? Yeah, totally familiar. I just always have broken lines, yeah. But you can set, when I said you can drag that color into it, and keep your pin held down, and then pull it across. That will fill your broken lines, and that will like adjust a little bit too. That will basically that works in to fill a close on the lines somewhat. Closed shapes, and I can have, which can mess with the line weight. Affinity is so weird, but I love vectors so much. Yeah, you do. But anyways, those are my ways of coloring really quickly, and then I will make another layer, usually set to multiply. Dragging affects tolerance, yes. So try messing with those things. The way I do shadows, and I've kind of told people this before, I pick like a purple or something like that. So this is where I do cell shading, and then I kind of just go in here. This is what I will use the lasso fill tool with on this stuff, because then we can get these shadows down really quick. And speed's the name of the game, right? Right. So kind of throwing all this down. So whatever we want, and then I just kind of drop the opacity on it. So that's kind of how I cell shade. If that's looking a little bit too muddy, then I can just change the tonal correction on it. Change my colors on it to whatever I want. Right, and I can change it on each individual color too as well. Across does not have a T at the end? What? What do you say? Lasso doesn't work on watercolors? Does it not work like with a watercolor brush? Or you mean like in real life? So those are the basic ways. Like I said, I have a video up on YouTube. It does go over the close and fill tool. I don't know why sometimes it doesn't work for me and sometimes it doesn't. I haven't figured that out. I know it's my fault for having something clicked on, but it's up on my YouTube and it shows you much better. Yeah, in real life. Yeah, I wish the lasso tool worked in real life. But yeah, that works on there. I should probably make a YouTube or Procreate one. I just don't know enough about the program. But like I said, go follow Siege Man. He works in Procreate all the time, and he probably can help you out with just about anything that he's been doing because he makes damn good artwork in it. Okay, so I think this is our last one. This is Joyce. I think this is Joyce's first time submitting too. That was Sketchman's first time submitting. He's also new to digital too. I'm proud of him. Taking that jump in. Okay, now what did you say you wanted to kind of learn about this? I love this concept. This is really cool. Pretty, yeah, this is nice. This is with digital watercolors. Cuts the edge off, you lose the blend. Oh, really? With the lasso stuff? I forgot what you had said when you dropped this. On what you wanted, Joyce. Tones down and proportions down as much as I can before adding color. Okay. Is this all on traditional right now? Is this all scan or phone picture in? Or is this digital? I'm guessing. This is really cool, but I can't. I mean, I guess that's a good thing. That's a cool thing if I can't tell if it's traditional or what, or digital. Oh, I guess it's like, yeah, this is all acrylic. Yeah, I love those. I love those like whites and stuff. So it's gonna be trickier for you to change proportions, right? Um, okay, so tones down. I think that you have, depending on what you want with the body, it's almost the same. You almost have the same tone and the same shading as you do with the jacket. And the jacket feels like it's dark leather. I know this is like a phone picture too, so like I think we have some lighting where it's darker on this side because maybe that paper and the light and stuff is hitting it different, right? Um, so I think the jacket looks like it's hard leather, but the skin tone, I don't know if you want it to be that dark in comparison, but it's like it's kind of meeting the same areas, right? And it's almost looking like really slick, leathery, sort of chrome feel to it because it's matching the same thing. And my mind is saying leather when it's looking at this. So my feeling on this is I don't know if you can go just darker or what. I don't know if I can do this. Let me see. I don't know if you can get darker underneath here. I'm kind of blurring it out. I'm not meaning to blur this out. I'm trying to make it darker so that the arms sort of pop more um, with those edges. It does look a bit dark on that side, not just the photo. Oh, okay, okay. Is that what you want on that side? The light come over and hit it that way? If that's the case, then I'm gonna hit these flowers a lot more too. You know, everything over here kind of getting darker and stuff. Right, even down in here. Back in here, like where you have these spaces, I think you can kind of underneath these flower petals and stuff. You probably give that some shadow too. Tone variance should be different. Yeah, I think just a little bit of it too, right? I don't know if you can. I don't know how much you can correct with oils, but like, let's see if we can do it digitally. But I think also you have these huge shine areas as well. So that's something to think about as well. Like we have these huge pockets of shine. But I think you said you're going to add color to it. Sometimes there's a little bit of like a sort of fold where that forearm muscle goes. So I'm just kind of knocking it down a little bit. Just so it stands out a little bit from the jacket. Hey, what's up, Obi-Wan? What's going on? How you doing, Omi? So then I'm going to also, I'm just thinking that if there's light and shadow here, I'm sort of like giving these a little bit of a darker sort of tint where everything goes. And underneath the flowers. And maybe I'm making things darker towards this side. All I'm really doing is trying to like throw some shadow underneath some of these leaves. So it's not really hollow, I guess. The white is going to absorb the color, then I'll put highlights over it, kind of like toggling between the tone and color if you understand how that technique works. Not as much. I'm a really shitty painter, let alone traditional stuff. Um, but this can kind of be. I'm wanting it to kind of keep in a different tone from the jacket, but at the same time, not be so empty up there. Does that make sense? And still trying to kind of move a lot of this paints. I mean, I don't want to lose all the darkness to it, but at the same time, I'm just trying to make it a little bit of a different. So we can keep that darkness too by cutting down like the width of that highlight as well, right? We don't just have to make it dark. We can cut down like the width of how much lighting there is, and that in turn will make it darker too. But also keeping it a different value. Hey, monster! What's up, Zelda? How you doing? What's up, homie? Then we could still have these areas where it's dark, shadowed. Yeah, much easier now than later. Much easier now than later. Yeah, you're right. I'm doing good, homie. We're doing critique sessions at the moment, so we're just about finished up with Joyce's here. Um, and then actually I'm gonna go get some grub after that. Um, What I'm gonna do here with yours is just little bits of hard edge. Like I said, to kind of keep that popped out. Especially if that light is coming from over there on the side, then I'm gonna really emphasize all the shadows, especially as I get further away from the light. Like in this big piece right here, probably much deeper shadow. I need to make a piece for me to create. Yeah, you need to submit one for next week's and stuff. Okay, so I'm just kind of going through and making these harder edges and stuff. Mainly just kind of, if you want it to get darker on one side, I don't know if I would have it necessarily like get darker on one side. Just me personally, because it's a very centered piece, you know? But honestly, it is up to you. It's totally up to you. And also the lighting does look like it's coming top down as well. Just the way it's hitting her arms and stuff. Fairly easy or not something from a picture, oh, like a scribble drawing or something? Image, so there's not much. Oh, okay. Yeah, I got you. I mean, I do crit whatever people throw in, you know, but if there's not much yet, I totally feel you on that. Okay, so yeah, this is another thing too. I just noticed is like your lighting is very top down on it because this other arm. So like we would have to light that other shoulder unless we're hitting like bright light on it, and if that's the case, if there's a reason this shoulder is so much brighter than this one, then maybe we show it over here too, right? Even on the back sides of these knuckles, right? Because like all this is facing that. The whole palm's facing it actually. Even like all this is facing it. Right, so the hand looks so much better. Yeah, now it looks like that light's actually hitting it from that side. You know what I mean? But it's all kind of up to you. And then like if this is really in shadow in comparison, then like let's kind of add that shadow to it. Even like all this stuff would be shaded. But it's up to whatever you got going on. As you can paint over it, I've heard that, and it kind of dries fast, so you can work fast with it, right? Even here, rim lighting on this, right? A little bit of shadow. If this is like a leather, if the edge lighting right there that gets it. Maybe this peeks out a little bit so it gets a hit somewhat. Just really emphasizing what side that light's coming to. It's a little bit harder to fix, yeah, because you wear out the paper and stuff on it, right? At least that's my experience with watercolor paper. Okay, does that make sense? Does that help? Did you got any more questions on stuff? I feel it watercolor, yeah. Yeah. I kind of gave up on watercolors to be honest, because um, I was not good at it. I need my Copic markers. Okay, so great session, guys. Thank you very much. Appreciate you guys being here. Appreciate you submitting stuff. I'm gonna go grab some dinner. We're gonna be back in like an hour. So thank you guys, everybody. Hey, you don't have to do that. Thank you. Joyce, thank you.
Joy's rainbow art.
Enjoy food, man. I will. I will be back in an hour. Let's go raid somebody really quick, guys.
Today. I can't wait.
We'll go drop some love on someone.
Later.
Ooh, I never gotten to raid Ox. Alright, we're gonna go raid Oxica. She's been fucking amazing. Beautiful, beautiful art. I'm gonna go grab dinner, and then we will be back in about an hour, and I will see you guys then. We'll work on commission and stuff. But thank you guys for submitting all your stuff tonight. I appreciate it. Thank you, Joyce, for the biddies. I really, really appreciate that. That means a ton. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for the subs, the bits, all that stuff. I'm gonna head to the gym and deadlifts over with. You mean you're gonna enjoy deadlifts? All right, let's go. I would love if you guys can come raid Ox before you guys head out to dinner. If you got to go head to the gym, head to the gym. But I know some of you guys might bounce out. But just raid and dump a lot of love on this artist because she's fucking amazing. She's dumped some really good raids on us. Whoops. And I have yet to go get to show her that love back. So thank you, everybody. I appreciate you guys. Everybody have a great, great night. We'll be back in a minute.